Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Let me know how everything sounds in the chat if you are in there. Hi, everybody. Hello, Nicole. We got Kathy. We got Natividad. Natividad. Oh, you're from Spain. That's right. I saw your chat earlier. I'm sorry we didn't start earlier for you. We have got a very, very fun, weird live stream today, so I'm very excited to see what you guys think about this and to see what we make. It's gonna be weird. I'm really excited. All right, well, I'll be on in just a second. But please let me know how everything sounds. All right. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Hello, everybody. Wow. Cooper's here. Hey, Coop. Zoe is here. Oh, wow. This is cool. Okay, I'm super excited. Oh, Tina. Hello, Tina. Sophia. Well, hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, how exciting. Timothy's here. Okay. Let's rock and roll. One sec. Because this one's going to be a weird one. We're going to need some... I'm going to need your help. For sure. Well, let's rock and roll. Oh, wait. Forgot one thing. All right. We're just going to jump right into it. Here we go. Oh, wait, you know what? I don't know how this camera's going to look, but we'll try it. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I'm sorry I missed last week. Look at me, always forgetting to clean my glasses right before I hit go. I am so sorry I missed last week, but I was having a weird week, honestly, and I'm very, very excited about today. I had a very busy week full of meetings, but also like epiphanies for my game and for some other projects that I'm working on. And so it was kind of like a very structured week because of all the meetings and stuff. So I wanted to do something today that was just chaos. And so what I thought would be fun is to do a project that I've actually wanted to do for years, but I have never really had the right time or anything to do it. So I just thought today would be a fun time to do it. I don't know if you know about this, but there is a YouTuber that and TikToker and all this other stuff that goes by Roll for Sandwich. Me and my wife are huge fans of Roll for Sandwich. Essentially what he does is he rolls dice and it makes his sandwich, and then he eats that sandwich. And sometimes it's crazy good, but you would never think to put these things together. And sometimes it goes way off the rails and it's weird and it's cool but weird and not tasty and whatever. Anyhow, the point is, I want to do Roll for Crochet. I think it's just such a fun idea. We can make something really weird. We can make something really cool that we might not have made before. We get the chat's help. I don't know. It's going to be cool. Let's just jump into it and talk about it. I'm just really excited. By the way, we are both on our horizontal meaning this way, video and portrait mode video. If you are watching it in our portrait mode video where it's, like a phone, switch over to the horizontal mode. Just the only reason I say that is because that's where we're going to be doing our votes, but I'll be checking the chat in both places. So just so you know, if you're in either one. And by the way, hi chat. Hi everybody in the chat. All right, let's jump to our hands and talk a little bit more about what we're doing today, and then how you can support this channel, all the other stuff, and then we'll get crocheting because we have a lot of crocheting to do today. I'm hoping we can finish everything today. It looks like the music is maybe a little loud, so I'm going to turn it down just a bit. Okay. Yeah, Roll for Sandwich is a sensory nightmare for sure. All right, so check it out. We got our dice here. We got our crochet hook, our yarn. I'm so stoked. Now, here's me and my wife, Jules, went through yesterday and came up with some ideas for what we would do for the rolls. And so I thought I made these cute little printouts for us so that we could write them down. But essentially how this is going to work is we'll have a series of things for each of these rolls. So if we roll the one, we'd get this, that, second, blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying. And they're kind of like vibe based. It's not going to be like very specific things, so that I have room to design and come up with some ideas. So let me just start by writing these down, but I'm very open to suggestions here. Not only am I open to suggestions on what goes into these for our rolls, but I'm also open to suggestions because number one for all of these rolls is going to be chat's choice. So that means that you're going to be able to choose, if you're watching it live on the chat right now, you'll be able to choose what we make. So let's make just a little bit of space here. And I'll just start writing down the ones that I was thinking. But chat, I'm super open to suggestions here. So if you have thoughts on what you think I should add to these, please let me know in the chat. I'm super open to changing some of these today, but I'm also open to changing them in the future as well. Okay, so to start, number one for all of these is going to be chat. Hold on. Let's separate these two. All right, so number one for all these is going to be chat. Number two for the arms, I was thinking number two would be fun to do wings. So that means that if we roll a 2, the project has to incorporate wings in the project. Number 3, I think it'd be fun to do either no arms or nubs for number 3. So it could be like little stumpy arms or just none at all. So we're going to put none/nub. Oops. Nubs. And again, like, I'm open to changing a lot of these too, and so I'm curious of what people say in the chat. Prisma says flippers. Oh, I like flippers. Oh, I'm going to write some of those suggestions off to the side for right now because we might need them for the chat, but also next time we do this, we'll definitely change up what we make for these. I think number 4, I wrote fingers. Now, it sounds like not a weird one to have on here. Like, if you're making arms, aren't you going to make fingers? No. Like, most of the time, I usually make arms without fingers. So actually adding fingers to the arms is kind of a weird... It changes the way I have to design them in a fun way, but like it definitely, because I tested this out a few times to be like, would this work? And I was like, you know what? Fingers does lead to some weird conclusions. Okay, so let me write down a couple of other suggestions that people in the chat were saying right now. Someone said fins, and someone said tentacles. I think you're gonna love the next one though. So if you have other suggestions, let me know. Big beefy arm a la Trogdor. You're okay. You guys are getting ahead of me because there's some of these suggestions actually are in the future ones. So let me get through some of them, but I really like that idea. Okay. Number 2. This is for, by the way, the arms was for the D4, which meant this dice right here. So it's a 4-sided dice. So it's not a lot of options there. Legs, D6. Number 1, chat. It's the chat suggestion if we roll a 1. Number 2, none. No legs. I think that should definitely be an option. Number 3, stubby. Stubby legs. I know that is kind of like similar to none, but I do think stubby is a different vibe when it comes to legs. It's kind of different than arms. Number 4, tentacles/fins is what I have. Tentacles/fins. So it's kind of funny that you guys had put that for the arms because I already had that for the legs. So we might end up working with either one. Also, throughout this, we're going to roll all these, and I'm going to have one re-roll that I get, just because this is our first time doing it, and I have a feeling something's going to end up weird, so it's only fair I get one re-roll. I think that's fair. We can all discuss together what the re-roll would be, though, so don't worry. Number 5, I think toes. Again, just like the fingers, adding toes to feet is like a weird addition. It does change completely how the feet or legs and stuff are going to work out. Number 6, gangly. So gangly legs, which I can take in a bunch of different directions there. I love chicken or bird feet. Very hairy legs. Oh my god, these are all such good suggestions. Peg legs, hooves. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. I think I might need some help writing all these down. So, moderators, Cooper Zoe, if you have the space, if you want it, you can just put them in Slack and just message me them maybe. Or you can just put them in a Google Doc. Or you could not do that at all and I'll just try writing them down. But let me write down some of these down. So, I like forelegs, peg legs, bird feet. I thought bug feet might be fun too. Very hairy legs. That's funny as heck. And a tail would be cool. A tail would be really cool. You know what? Thank you for saying that, Sophia. We're gonna add that into another part in a second. All right, let's move on to head. We got chat for number 1 for the head. Other things for the head. 2 should be a 2, which means it has 2 heads. So if we get a 2, we have to have 2 heads. Number 3, none. No head at all, which means we do have to have a face. That's going to be one of the other roles. And the face will have to go somewhere that is not on the head because there is no head. Spiral arms and legs is super fascinating. A tail is a great idea. Okay, number 4 for head. Big. All caps. Big. One big old head. Number 5, tiny. I hope I roll tiny. I think tiny head is just so funny. Number 6, neck. With extra E's. Neck. So it's got a long neck. Number 7, flat. This is Jules's suggestion. I don't necessarily love it, but and I'm open to other suggestions there. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta listen to your wife. Flat. So a flat head. I don't know what that means just yet. We'll have to figure that out if we roll it. And then number 8. I think this is a fun addition. I think this probably will change later. Ooh, I love pointy head. I'm going to write pointy down here. Number 8, I have burb. So it has a burb's head. Now, does that mean it has to be a burb? No, it just means that it has to have a detachable burb head if we roll that. Okay, so those are our first 3. We got 3 more to fill out, and they're getting bigger and bigger. Let's move on to body. Body, yaddy, yaddy. All right, so for our body, here's what we got for the body. Number 1, chat. Okay, so chat suggests the body. Number 2, tall. We're going to write it so it's tall, too. Tall guy, if we roll a 2. Number 3, we have buff. And there is that buff version. I think that can kind of, like, filter into the arms, too, you know? Like, I do think, like, adding pecs or, like, a six-pack also would work there. Number 4, skinny. Skinny. Skinny crochet. Number 5, round, which is honestly my preference. I would like to make a round critter. Number 6, I was thinking about this earlier. I have square for number 6. I don't know if I love square or not, so I'm kind of like open to suggestions there. I'm just going to leave 6 open for a second while I get the chat suggestions and move on to 7. 7... You're going to like 7. 7 is just butt. It's got to have a butt. If we roll a 7, we got to add a butt. Honestly, I might end up adding a butt regardless. Number 8. That's a very curvy number, so I think 8 should be curvy. Which I think, you know, that's a nice way to say fat, too. Or it's a nice way to just say curvy, curvy, curvy. I think just adding curves in general, there's something in it that's got to have curves in it. Or it needs to be real chubby, or I don't know. We can kind of interpret it a bunch of different ways. Tammy says we are freezing up. Why we would be freezing. Okay. Are we all right? We here? Okay. Let me know if we are ever freezing, please. Okay. Next one up. 9. We've got short. I think short makes a lot of sense. For a body. Pear-shaped, I like. Double belly? What does double belly even mean? But I kind of love it. Long body like a snake. Oh, actually, you know what? 11 or 10, I think you're going to like. Whoever said that. 10, I have worm. So it's worm-shaped. I guess that kind of also means kind of snake-shaped. But yeah, I like that I can interpret it different ways. All right, so we're going to put 6 as square for right now. And be open to other suggestions at a later time. Okay. Next up, we are on to face. Now, face is going to be a lot of fun. Of course, 1, we have the chat suggestion. Number 2, we have 2 or more eyes. 2 or more eyes. So it has to have at least 2, but probably more than 2 eyes. Number 3, 1 eye. So just 1 eye. If we roll a 3. Number 4, no eyes. So it just has to incorporate one of these suggestions, by the way. Timothy says that there is either no sound or... No, the sound... It's a bit laggy, bro. We've got sound problems. Hold on. One moment, please. Also, my phone that was recording this all died, which is really cool. Face cam isn't synced with the audio. Okay, heard. Thank you. One moment. Let's see if we just disconnect the face cam and reconnect it. Maybe perhaps it will fix. One moment, please. I don't know how to do this. If we just switch off the face and then we turn it back on, will that work? Am I synced up now? How is it? Am I synced? Please let me know. I'm gonna do one more internet check really quick. We have had a few internet problems this week, so I'm hoping that gets fixed. Tammy can't hear me at all. But I think that, honestly, Tammy, I think you're the only one that can't hear me. Let me know, though. It's fine for Kristen. Zoe says it's not synced. Cooper says nope. What does nope mean? Nope as in it's not working? Okay, hold on. One moment, please. Melinda says it's fine for Melinda, which is great. That's what's weird. It's like it is working for some people and not working for others. If it is not working for you, please try refreshing and let me know how everything works after doing that. Oh my gosh, someone said spider face. That's wild. Audio is just not synced with the face cam. Got it. Okay. One sec. We're just gonna do this. You guys can look at this frog for a second as I fix my camera. Okay. I tried pausing it and re-zooming the cam, so maybe that'll fix it. I mean, honestly, if it's not working that well, that's totally okay. Hey, is this matched up anymore? Hello, my name is Cornholio. Let me know if that syncs up. All right. Let's put my face back in there. All right. We're going to keep going, though, and just hope that things synced back up. And they might have not, and I'm sorry about that. Okie dokie, artichoke. We are back on to number 5 for the face. Number 5, I have trunk. Like a trunk, you know? I think that can kind of work in a few different ways. Maybe I should say trunk / snout. Might be good. I'm going to move one of these around. 6, I'm going to say big nose. Just big nose. And it is still not synced up for Cooper. Okay, well, I think we're going to have to live with that and just hope that it fixes itself, I suppose. All right. Let's keep going. 7, ears. Ears. It's got to have ears. Number 8 is it needs to have teeth. So teeth. Number 9, it's got to have a kissy face. Number 10, it's got to have cheeks. Cheeky is what I'm going to say. Cheeky, because that can be taken a bunch of different ways. Yeah, Tammy, try refreshing. Okay, number 11. We've got brows. Number 11, eyebrows. Brows. And then number 12, we have, yeah, there we go. Big bushy brows. Prisma is picking up what I'm putting down here. I'm going to start recording this too. Number 12, we have got derpy. Derpy for number 12. A derpy little face. What does that mean? I don't know. Something like that. Now, Sophia says accessories like hats, glasses, something like that. That's all going to happen after the fact. So we can add all of those accessories on. This is just going to be for the base. And then the rest of it is going to be, we're going to add things upon it. So hats and glasses and stuff like that. For the chat, Tammy, I think that maybe it's just on you that's lagging. I'm not really sure though. Or I think that my mouth is not synced up with the camera for some reason, and I don't know why. So I think the sound is a little off. Also, now we just disconnected and reconnected for some reason. So I don't really know why that happened either. So I'm going to check my internet one more time. Okay, looks like our internet is fine. So I don't really know why. Okay. It might be my computer, to be completely honest. Okay, cool. Let's move on to wild magic. Now, wild magic is going to be the thing that gives it spice. Something weird. Something really weird sometimes. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1, chat. So chat suggestion for number 1. That feels like a dumb, no duh. 2, a full head of hair. Now now you're going to get an idea. Full head of hair. So now that's the idea here. Something weird. Number 3, antlers. Antlers. Or horns. I'll put antlers / horns. Number 4, eyelids or eyelashes. Ooh, I like warts. Whoever said that. Hold on. Eyelids / lashes. I'm going to write that down here for the person that suggested warts, because I think that's a great suggestion. All right, next up, 5, furry. Honestly, that's the one we're kind of hoping for. I really kind of want to make something furry. I think that'd be fun. 6, sparkly. I don't know how the heck I'm going to do that, but that's kind of the point. Sparkly. I think I spelled that wrong. Number 7, mini. All this is done in a mini. That would be really, really, really hard. Not gonna lie, that would not be easy. Number 8, sleeping. Okay, I definitely am gonna need suggestions for this quicker now. Number 10, nasty. I like nasty because I could take that in a lot of different ways too. Make a little grimy goblin or something like that. Number 11, we've got grumpy. Ooh, Sophia says spots. I like that. Hold on, I'll add that in. Grumpy. I'm going to put on spots down here because I think that's good. I'm going to say spots / bumps. I think that kind of works for both of them. Number 12, plant. So it has to be some kind of plant. Number 13, long. I don't know what that means, but we'll figure that out if we get that. Someone said slime. I don't know how the heck I would do that, Melinda, but we can try. Diva nails? Okay, wait. I like that, actually. All right. Hello. We've got a newbie here, Aisha. Hello, welcome. You joined a very strange live stream, so welcome. Number 14, let's put blushing / timid. So they're kind of like shy, you know? Number 17, adorable. And that might go without saying, but they have to be adorable if we get number 17. Number 16, glowing. Now, how am I going to do glowing? Shoot on my boot? I do not know. We will figure that out. Number 17, giant. We're going to hope that we do not roll a 17 because that would be really hard. I don't have 18 or 19, so I do need suggestions for 18 and 19. Mirror. I don't know how mirror would work. That's interesting suggestion. I like warts, so I'm going to throw in warts on number 18 because I think that's a really good suggestion. I'm going to cross it out here. Number 20, I'm going to skip 19 for just a second. Number 20, we're going to do dealer's choice. So that means I get to choose, which would be nice. Okay. I just need one more, and I do like spots or bumps, so I do think spots or bumps are going to come in. Glasses, I think we're going to end up adding based on what the critter or creature is. So I'm open to just adding that regardless. And yeah, let's just do spots and bumps and get rocking and rolling. And we can kind of like alter this as we go when we do another one and stuff like that. Plus, we've got our chat choices for all of these. So all of y'all will have a chance to suggest something to add into this. Okay, well, those are all of our suggestions here. We've got quite a lot of suggestions. I say let's just start rolling. And as we roll, we'll talk about different ways you can support this channel in between rolls. I think that's fun. If you like what's happening here, you think, man, what a cool channel. This dude's doing a, thank you so much, Cooper, you rock, Enzo. if you're like, dang, this is so cool, Roll for Crochet, what a weird, cool idea. These live streams are so fun. This guy makes such cool patterns. Well, you should support this channel because it's completely funded by its supporters. So, or by its viewers. So if you like what's happening here and you think it should keep happening, please consider supporting the channel. There are a bunch of different ways you can support. The first one, which we're going to talk about before we get to, and then we're going to talk about arms, and we'll talk about more ways of support between these. The first way is, please, just like this video. Just like it. Like it down below. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss when we come out with new videos. I do live streams like this every week, every Friday. It's a great way to support this channel. Okay, that's the first way you can support this channel. Let's roll for arms. All right, arms. Here we go. One is chat's suggestion. All right, chat. We got to start off this with a chat suggestion. That's friggin' crazy. Okay, hold on. This is going to slow us down just a little bit, but it won't be that bad. All right, chat suggestion for arms and legs. Let's see. We've got flippers, a big beefy arm, tentacles, raptor arms. I love that idea. Conch shaped. I don't really know how I do conch shaped. If anybody else has other suggestions, go for it. Throw them in the chat now because we're going to go ahead and do a poll on the stream chat. Let me go ahead and get some of these in here now. If you have other suggestions, go for it. Long arms, that's a fun idea. Diva nails. Okay, hold on. Arms suggestions, go. Okay, so we got, hold on, what were the other suggestions? I'm going to throw tentacles and flippers into one so that it gives us more room to work with it based on what else we roll. I love many elbows. Oh my gosh, that's Jules. Jules says many. I mean, I got to listen to my wife, right? Many elbows? What the heck does that mean, Jules? You're mean. I hear her laughing from the other room. I'm going to say... All right, and Diva Nails. Too many people are suggesting it for me to ignore it. It has happened. And what was the other one? Beefy arms. Raptor arms are big beefy arms. Dinosaur arms or big beefy arms? I think we're going to go, because there's another chance to have beefy arms. I'm going to put raptor, because I do think that would be really funny. I'll put both here, and we can kind of decide that if you vote for it. All right, poll is out now. If you have strong suggestions, put them in the chat or vote right now. So the vote is between tentacles or flippers, many elbows, ridiculous, diva nails, or raptor / beefy arms. Go ahead and vote now in the chat. And as you're voting for that, let's go ahead and roll for legs, and then we'll talk about another way to support this channel because this section is getting too big. So legs, rolling for legs next. Here we go. We're rolling a D6 for our legs. A 5. 5 is toes. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. We need to circle some of these. Where'd my pen go? There we go. So we got toes. We got chat. Good to know. All right. All right, before we get to rolling the head, let's talk about another way you can support this channel if you like what's happening here and as we vote for our arms. If you really like what's going on here and you'd like to support us monetarily, oh my gosh, you're the sweetest. Thank you so much for considering supporting this channel monetarily. That means a lot to me because this channel is completely supported monetarily by its viewers. If you would like to support monetarily, probably the bestest way to support is with a Club Crochet membership. Members get early access to future videos. They get access to the exclusive library of tutorials. We add new ones in all the time. You can get a membership for just $5.99 a month. You can even get a free trial, see if it's something you're interested in, and cancel it at any time. You get discounts in the shop. You get so much with a membership, and it is really the best way to support this channel. If you want to learn more about our Club Crochet membership, you can learn more at clubcrochet.com. All right, let's move on. Head. Let's roll for the head. A D8, one of my favorite dice. D8, we are gonna roll. Oh boy, this one I'm kind of nervous about, to be honest. 8, oh my gosh, we rolled a burb. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now we do get one reroll at the end of this, by the way. Don't forget, we get one reroll, but I don't know if I'm gonna want to use that reroll for the burb head. That does kind of mean we get to do 2 different versions of the head, because we'll have a burb on top of whatever we make normally. So it's good to know, but that could be a little weird. But good to know. Burb head. We'll see if we re-roll that. All right, before we go to this next one, let's talk about another way you can support this channel. You can purchase our kits, our merch, our pins. We've got patterns. We've got a bunch of different stuff in the shop. So if you're interested in supporting this channel, I highly suggest trying out one of our kits. One of the best kits that we have right now, I think, is the photosynthesis kit. It makes a bunch of different plants. You make a bonsai tree that goes in a pot. You make flowers. It's a really cool kit. I highly suggest checking it out if you want to support this channel. And for all the people that are members out there, we are very soon going to be launching a brand new offering, which is going to be yarn. You're going to be able to get your purchase the yarn directly soon. So I'm working on that, and I will get that going ASAP. But just letting you know, if you have a membership, that's going to be the only way to do it at first, because we only have so much inventory to work with. So yeah, just keeping you updated there. There will be yarn available for purchase for members very soon. Okay, let's move on. Oh my gosh, Zoe, you already got the shirts? That's amazing. Oh yeah, that's another thing. We have shirts too. Yes, that is true. In portrait mode, you cannot vote. Thank you so much for saying that out loud to Akben. Okay, next up, face is gonna be a fun. Oh no. Do we vote body? No, we haven't rolled body yet. Body yaddy yaddy. Let's roll it. D10. A 3. Buff. We got a buff burb in the house, guys. Oh boy. That's gonna be weird. Okay, so oh no. All right, we got a buff body. Love that. All right, before we get to face, other ways you can support this channel. I honestly wasn't expecting buff to be rolled. And Zoe is so stoked that there's a buff body. That's funny as heck. Okay, what are other ways you can support this channel? Merch, kits, bloopity-doo-boopity-doo. Oh, duh. Pre-order my book. Pre-order my book. Guys, pre-order my book. Have you pre-ordered the book? Well, I hope you have pre-ordered the book. We're going to do a thing right now. If you pre-ordered the book, say so right now in the chat and say, hey, I already pre-ordered the book, and I'm going to add a button to our tracker. In addition to the buttons to our tracker for that, we are also going to be adding buttons to the tracker for everybody that supported or that pre-ordered the book prior or after last live stream. And there were only 5? 6 actually, because someone pre-ordered a second book, which was very nice of them. So we're going to start with, hold on, I got to get some buttons for us. This is to say thank you so much to, hold on, let me get some buttons. Hillary, thank you for pre-ordering Crochet Gummies. It is coming in September, and I really appreciate you, Hillary. We got, everybody that's a new pre-order, by the way, gets a big button. And then people that already had gotten a button get a smaller button. So just heads up, that's how it's going to work here. Hold on, I gotta get more buttons. Gwyneth, thank you so much for your support. Look at this cool button that we're adding that for you. And then when this thing fills up, we're gonna give away a crochet, by the way. Amanda, thank you. I hope you enjoy the book. It's gonna be really cool. I'm very, 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 very excited. Melina, Melyna. I don't know if you're in the chat, but thank you so much for the support and for pre-ordering the book. You rock. Haley, Bo Bailey, Fofi, Fofili. Thank you, Haley. All right, and now in the chat, anybody who has already pre-ordered the book, speak now. Have you pre-ordered it? And I will add a button for you. Let's see. Well, hold on. I got to scroll up. We got Timothy. Definitely pre-ordered. Thank you, Timothy. Zoe, you know Zoe ordered that book. I know Cooper has. Boom. We got Tammy. Thank you so much, Tammy. We got. Hold on. Kristen. Thank you, Kristen. You are amazing. And Karen. Thank you, Karen. And I think, did we already say Tina? Prisma. Thank you, Prisma. Wow, this button, we've gotten like 4 of them. They are very cool. What does it say on it? Grace. I think it says Grace. This is for Tina because I think Tina already did too. Oh, and then we got someone in the other chat. Rita. Oh, Rita, thank you so much for the pre-order. Super appreciated. If you pre-ordered during today's live stream, after I already mentioned all this, please let me know in the chat, and I will add a super ultra mega big button for you if you pre-order it right now. Okay, which honestly, we are almost filled up. Once this is filled up, we're going to give away a hand crocheted. So something that I actually crocheted is going to be given away. Okay, that is enough of that. We've voted on everything but Face and Wild Magic. I'm very excited to see what we get for Face and Wild Magic. We've already been going for 45 minutes, so we really need to speed this up. Let's start with that. Okay, Face. We're going to roll a D12 for our Face, which is going to be this fancy one right here. Hold on, let's make way for dice to roll. Here we go. That is a no, that's not a 6. That is a 9. 9 will be kissy. A little kissy face. Okay, that's totally fun. I can do a kissy face. Definitely can do a kissy face. Burb is going to be an interesting thing to... I don't think we'll have to kissy face the burb, though. We can kissy face the thing that's under the burb head. Okay, next up... yes, we already did do one giveaway for the first one, Prisma. I announced it in one of the past live streams, but I will send out a thing about that soon, too. Okay, well, we did a pretty long how do you support this channel, so before I get to Wild Magic, I just want to say thank you to everybody so much who has supported this channel. It really means the world to me, whether you have just liked and subscribed or you've helped financially help support this channel. You've gotten an annual pass or you've purchased patterns or whatever. Thank you. Seriously, you are literally the reason why this channel exists. So thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. Okay, now let's make my life really hard and roll Wild Magic and see what we get. Here we go. Wild Magic. Could be anything. It's D20. Ah, I'm scared. Another 9. 9 is going to be angelic. Angelic. Okay, interesting. All right, that means we do still have our one reroll. I think the rule should be I cannot reroll chat. Like if I roll the natural 1, I can't reroll that. So I don't want to reroll our chat. We have got chat, which by the way, chat has currently been voting, and they have voted on. Oh crap. Tentacles or flippers is what currently is winning in the chat, which does make me nervous, no question. But let's see if we can kind of like format things to make it work. So that's for the arms, by the way. That's the arms. So I don't know how that's going to work with number 2, which has toes. That's where I'm worried about. We got something with tentacles and toes, huh? And then we got a burb's head. Yowza. And then it's also buff, which I don't know how I'm... Actually, I think I can make that work. Buff I can make work here. Kissy, totally. I'm not going to change Kissy. That's adorable. And then the last one was angelic. So we got an angelic, Kissy, tentacles with a burb's head and toes. I think I want to reroll toes. I think that's what we want to reroll. I'm going to reroll our legs and see if we can get something else. If I get number 4, tentacles or fins, then I'm going to bunch that into the arms. And the arms and the legs are going to be like one thing, like an octopus. Okay, so we're going to reroll legs. The rule is I can reroll it, and I get to choose between those two. I only get one of these per episode here. So we're going to reroll that. It's a D6. Here we go. A 6. Gangly. Okay, so do we want gangly legs or do we want toes? I think I want toes over gangly. Let's see. Let's see what I can draw here. All right, so we've got... And is the chat's choice already chose? Yes, I would say it's got 31 votes on tentacles or flippers. It's going to be hard to beat that. I'll leave it for a second just in case, but now it's going to take a lot of votes for that to get overrun. Let's go ahead and end the vote. It has got tentacles or flippers. I don't know what I'm going to do for the burb head yet, but I just know it's going to be detached anyhow, so I'm just going to draw that over to the side here. So we just have a burb head of some kind over here, okay? Pretty easy. Burb head. I'm not saying it's going to be a pigeon. We can make that up as we go. So we need to make something that can fit a burb's head under it. And they have got a kissy face. So I think what might be fun is like, I'm going to have to do some kind of like tubey kind of thing like this so that it fits the burb's head on top of it, but also has enough room for a face. So for the face, we do have to do a kissy mouth, which is totally fine. And they do have to also be angelic, which I would say angelic means that they're a nice little cute sweetie patootie, right? So we got a kissy face, and then we need it to be buff, and we need it to have toes, and we need to have tentacles. Holy cannoli, guys, this is hard. Okay, so the body, I think we can do like the basic like burb shape for the body, you know, like a rounded body, maybe a little bit bigger than normal. And we'll do like a buff with like 6-pack and little nips. Little buff boy. That already looks actually really funny. Tentacles and flippers are the one part that I'm like worried about. But you know what has flippers? Penguins have flippers. And that kind of vibes with the burb vibe. So let's go ahead and do like flippers like this for the arms. You know? I might change this to tentacles. And if people have really strong opinions about that, that's okay. That's understandable. Angelic. We're missing angelic and we're missing toes or gangly feet. Gangly feet would be like little doodads with little balls at the end. Toes would be like, I don't want to do toes. I mean, I could do burb feet and have them be toes, and that totally is fair, and I think that counts. But I feel like that's kind of like low-key, not cheating, but just like taking the easy way out. I think we do gangly legs. I think gangly legs would be weird and fun. So let's go with this. They're going to be like little gangly legs with little balls at the end. Like that. Which will have some like sympathetic movement. Which, if you don't know, sympathetic movement is when you like wiggle something and then something else wiggles off with them. And then we need it to be angelic. So I say we do like a little angel halo that goes under the burb's head. And then we'll do like, we'll make them like look really sweet. Like this. We'll have little cheeks. And then maybe some eyelashes like that. And then I think, I mean, a tail makes sense, right? I don't know if we have time for a tail, but I think a tail would be fun. So maybe we could do like little, like some kind of like alien-y kind of like fuzzy tail like that. That matches our feet but looks distinctly different. I think that might be kind of fun. Okay, what do we think? Zoe loves them already. And I appreciate that, Zoe. Even if it's not true, I'm going to take your word for it. But what do we think, guys? Do we have any strong opinions? Speak now or forever hold your pieces. Because now, we need to choose colors. Fun, 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 fun. Wow, wow, wow. Let's choose some colors. Well, for the burb head, I think we can kind of like choose the burb head at a later time. So we can save the burb head for right now. I think the body of this gives alien. It's giving angelic alien. So, this burb is going to Pride, says Jules. All right. Jules is silly today. I love it. Okay, I think we should do something colorful. I'm thinking maybe like, I like this cyan. I think this cyan could be really fun. I also think that a, like orange could be fun. Rainbow could be fun. I love that Sophia. Pointed tail with a fuzzy ball. I agree with that. Let's go with a... Also pink. Actually, pink could be really cute. Because it's got that angelic vibe. But it might be hard to do, like, adding cheeks to that. Does anybody have any hard suggestions? Rainbow, says Sophia. I would do rainbow, but the only rainbow we really have... People have strong opinions that they do not like the rainbow that we choose. Oh, Kaylin says it's okay because of Pride. All right. Hold on, let me grab it. Okay. Come on. Okay. Here is what the rainbow looks like. Which is what I mean. It's kind of like, it's okay. Oh, but angelic would be white. White would make more sense. How about we incorporate this rainbow into like the legs and the tail? So it's not all this rainbow, because this is kind of a lot. And it kind of like blurs the detail because of all the color changes and stuff. So let's go ahead. We'll save the rainbow for like additions to it. Maybe the burb's head too. We can add some rainbow into that. But I do kind of like the idea of it being like white or a yellow or a bright like a lighter color. I think might work a little bit better. I don't know. I'm kind of torn with that though. I'm kind of torn on that. But like, see, like we might end up with like a lot of this like orangish brown if we end up using this rainbow for the whole body. Which is what I'm kind of worried about. Let's go with, I also don't love the idea that the white won't show up extremely well on the camera. Maybe a purple. You know, the purple kind of, oh yeah, let's do that. Not like a harsh purple, but like a lavender purple. Like this. Because this gives very cute angelic vibes. It works well with the rainbow. It still has that alien-ish nature to it. I think this would lend well to everything that we have going on. Yeah? How do we feel? I mean, it's kind of got that pink vibe, and it will work well with our pinks, which is what we want to use for our cheeks and the face anyhow. It won't work great with the burb's head, but we'll just have to figure that out. I don't want to use white because you're not even gonna see it on the background, you know? Yeah, purple. Okay, we like purple. Let's go with purple. All right, we're gonna place these to the side. We'll keep our concept art out here in the corner for now. And let's get crocheting our purple weirdo. Now, we obviously are going to need name suggestions and stuff for this. So feel free to add names in the chat as we go. And also feel free to wait on the name because you might want to, depending on, you know, how this ends up in the end. I think we should start with the fins, the flippers. So I'm going to start with flippers here. And we'll have to use like a darker purple when we make the buff parts of him. Now for the flippers, I think what I'm going to do is essentially make like half. We're going to do... Oh, you know what? I also meant to say, I'm going to try to do my best to explain this pattern during the live stream. If Cooper, if you would like to write it down, you totally can. I totally understand that that is asking a lot, though. Feel free not to. Like, I totally 100% get that I'm asking a lot of you. So, if you don't want to, I really, it's not going to be a big deal. I'll figure it out afterwards, I promise. But I'm going to do my best to explain this pattern as we go. All right, so we're going to go with arms, which are flippers right now. And in our magic loop, I'm going to do a single crochet and then a half double crochet. Maybe I should make one of these first and then talk about the second one, whatever. And then I'll do a double crochet like that. How big do we want these flippers? I mean, we said flippers. I think they should be relatively big. Let's do a triple crochet too and see how that looks. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do a point at the end of this. So I'm going to do a mini picot after the triple and see how that looks. And I'll re-explain this as I make the second one of these if you are trying to crochet along with this. Mini picot looks good. And then let's just go right back down. We'll just do the same thing back down, which will give us kind of like a teardrop look to this. So again, that would be a triple crochet to a double crochet to a half double crochet to a single crochet. And let's see how that looks. And then we pull that tight. I think that kind of looks like a flipper to me, right? Would that be a flipper? I think that does look like a flipper. What do you think? Yeah? Like if that was on the side, let me give you someone for an example here. Like here's a little alien that I have. If that was on the side of it, would you say, yeah, that looks like a flipper? I think that looks like a flipper. I think that counts. Yeah. Okay. I totally agree with Zoe. I don't think we necessarily need to give it rainbows. I think it's kind of giving pride without even having the rainbows, and I totally agree. All right, and then I'm going to chain one to cut to finish the flipper off to give us something to sew this onto the body with, to the body adi. And I think that would be the flipper. How do we feel about this? I like it, actually. I think this kind of works. It does look like a flower petal, I agree, but I think it gives flipper. All right, let me do that one more time, and I'll explain what I do this time a little bit more in detail for anybody watching after the fact that wants to try to remake this. So I'm going to start with a magic loop, and in the magic loop, we're going to do the following stitches. We're going to start by doing a single crochet into the. We're going to do a single crochet, and then a half double crochet, and then a double crochet. And then a triple crochet. 1, 2. That's pretty easy. Oops. There's our triple. Hold on. I kind of want to redo that triple. Hold on. There we go. All right. Then we want a mini picot. So a mini picot just means chain 2. And slip stitch into the back bump of that first chain that you made right here. And this will make a little point at the end. And then we're going to do a triple crochet. So we're doing the same stitches backwards now to make it go from tall to short. So that's a triple crochet, and then a double crochet, and then a half double crochet, and then a single crochet. And then we're going to pull everything nice and tight and do one chain here for us to use to sew it on, and then we're just going to cut the end. You don't need it that long, I don't think, but that's all right. And that would be our flippers. So these are going to be sewn onto the side of our body yaddy yaddy. Right? I think that works for flippers. I'm cool with that. Kaylin, I have not seen your email. I'm sorry. I must have missed it. Feel free to just respond to that email again, and I will get to it after today's live stream. Because I'll try to do it immediately after the live stream. Thanks for the patience, Kaylin. Okay. Next thing. We want to make next... I think we want to just do the body next. Like, right? Like, we don't need to get too complicated here. Do the body, make the face after... Make the burb head afterwards. I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so for the body, I'm going to give it like a burb's body shape, which means that... like it'll have like a relatively tiny head so that a burb's head can fit over top of the body. So to do that, we're going to start with a magic loop right here. And I'll tell you what, we'll use a stitch marker for this part too, so that we can keep track a little bit better. And don't you worry, Melinda, we will make sure that body is buff. All right, so we're going to start with 6 single crochets into the magic loop to start round 1 of the body. Really the head is kind of what we're doing right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we'll pull that tight. 1 second, I need a spare thread to use as our stitch marker here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put this yellow yarn in the center, like that. Okay, and I will tighten the end, and we'll fold that over and move on to round 2 of the head. Now let me think for just a second. I think that the burb's head goes 6 stitches, then 12 stitches, then I do 12 stitches for a few rounds, then I up it to 15. Or does it go 9 and then up? You know what? I know one way I can find this out. We'll go to the website. And we'll type in burb. And it'll come together. Okay. Where is it? Yes, okay, I was right. 12, 12, and then we'll make it a little taller than a normal burb's body. Yeah, okay, I think that makes the most sense here. Okay. All right, so 6 for the first round. For round 2 of this body, we're gonna increase it up to 12. So I'm gonna do an increase into each stitch all the way around, which will bring us up from 6 stitches to 12 stitches for our head here. So pretty easy, I think. I don't actually think this pattern is going to be necessarily very complicated, and I also don't think it's going to look that weird. I'm also kind of low-key considering keeping the toes and just doing toes instead of the gangly legs, but we've made our decision. Gangly legs is the legs. And I think it'll look really cute. So we'll make it work. I'm just thinking like toes would be kind of funny if he just had like 2 toes under his little body. But whatever. We made our choice and we have to deal with that. Let's pull the stitch marker up. We'll move on to round 3. And I think for the next 3 rounds, so that's rounds 3, 4, and 5, so 3 rounds in a row, I'm just going to do single crochets into every stitch around, which is just going to be 12 stitches per round. So relatively straightforward for these next rounds. And while I do that, I want to talk about some epiphanies that I had this week. So the main one, well, one of them was to do this roll for crochet, to be honest. But another big one that I had was for my trading card game that I'm trying to develop right now, which I'm going to be doing a more official announcement for the non-live stream audience next week, by the way. So if you are currently watching this and you see that next week, oh, he's announcing a new game, please give it some love because it'll probably want it. Anyhow, I had a pretty big epiphany about one of the rules in the game, and so I'm trying out changing a pretty big thing about the game, which might break everything, and I'm really worried about that. So I'm really desperately, I'm gonna be looking for new testers, and reaching out to all the other people that have tested out the game next week with a brand new version of the game that changes it. Basically, for the people that know about it, for the testers that are out there, I know like Kaylin is a tester and stuff. There is a stat for each character that is speed, and I think we're going to nix the speed and change it to something different. But we'll see. Anyhow, I'm very excited and nervous about the change, and I'm gonna desperately need help testing it. I also will have hopefully a digital version of the game available by next week when I start talking about this, so that I can actually test it out with anybody interested to play online. So it'll be like this. You'll have to get this game called Tabletop Simulator, but once you have it, you will be able to actually play it together online, which I think would be pretty fun. Yeah, Tag. So that is. I've been talking about it more in the live streams. I have only kind of barely talked about it in public so far. I actually think that's not tall enough, right? I think it needs to even be one. Well, it is going to have a halo. Hold on, let's grab a burb head real quick. Yeah, let's go with this one. Actually, that might be good. That'll give enough room for a halo above it. I just don't know if it'll give enough room for a face. Let's do one more round. We're going to do one more round of single crochets, which will be from, again, I think that was round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go to round 6 now. So that's 4 repeats of single crochets. So round 6 is going to be another round of just single crochets. I don't think it'll hurt to have one more round here either. Okay. Whoo-wee. But I'm really excited about that game. I've been working on like holographic cards and new art for each of the cards, so that there's like alternative art versions and stuff. I'm just really jazzed about it, honestly. Okay, so that's going to be the end of that round, round 6. You can see our body starting to turn up there. So there's our head, right? And then we're going to make the body part next. So it's going to start to increase out. And I think I'm going to basically use the burb's body for this. Maybe get a little bit bigger, but I don't know. Will the halo be attached to the burb, or will it be attached to the buff body? I was thinking to be attached to this buff body, so it would have a halo under the burb head. So when you pull the burb head off, you see that it's this little angelic little alien critter. That was my thought. But I don't know. Open to suggestions there if you have strong opinions. Always open to listen to strong opinions. Okay, next up, I'm going to increase it up now. So I'm going to do three single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3 single crochets and then an increase right here. 1 and 2. And then we'll just repeat that 3 times around. So that'll go from 12 up to 15. 2, 3, and then an increase. Boom, boom. And then we'll do one more of those. 1, 2, 3, and we'll do an increase right here. Okay. So that starts us off growing. I think I might want to just increase it pretty drastically now. I kind of want to go straight from 15 to 21. Is that crazy? That would add 6 more increases, which actually might be kind of complicated. You're not seeing how the halo is going to fit under the burb head, but I trust you. All right, well, we'll see, Zoe. We can always... What's nice is, like, that's going to be a part that we can kind of pivot, and we can kind of, like, change plans as we go. So it might still work out just fine if it doesn't work out the way I think it will. Okay, next up, let's go with increasing it up to 20 stitches. So I'm going to increase it up differently now. How am I going to do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, that would work. Let's try that. I'm going to try increasing it up from 15 to 20 stitches by doing 3 single crochets and then an increase 4 times around, which I think should bring us up from 15 to 20. No, wait, that doesn't make any sense. That'll only bring us up to 19 because there's only 4 increases. Okay, wait, so that wouldn't work. I need 5 increases in order to bring it up that high, which I can't fit in there in an even way at least. But you know what, I might be able to fit it that way if I do it like where it's getting more wide than it is getting like evenly distributed. So maybe I do like we have this be the back, right? And maybe I go like a few increases here, a few increases there. Should we go like increase on that one, increase on that one, and then increase, then increase? Or maybe we just go up to 18 to make our life a lot easier. Or maybe we go up to 16 in the previous round. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. That's way easier. Okay, I'm going to go back around. And we're going to increase it up. Instead of increasing up to 15, we're going to increase it up to 16. So I'm going to do that by doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16. No, that'll be 17. Hold on. I'm sorry. I need to think. 12 to 16 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, so I was right. Okay, so I'm taking this back. We are going back down to round 7. Wait. 1, 2, 6. Yeah, 7. So round 7 is going to be changed to 2 single crochets and then an increase. Repeated 4 times around to go up from 12 to 16 stitches. Okay, that's what we're doing. So we're up to 16 now. And the idea here is it's just going to be increasing it a little bit more quickly to make the body a little bit bigger, to give us room for our buff pecs and abs, which will be fun. All right, there we go. So that's back up to 16 stitches. Pull that stitch marker over, and now we're going to go up to 20 stitches by doing the same thing but one bigger. So we're going to go 3 for round 8 here. We're doing 1, 2, 3 single crochets, and then we'll do an increase in the next and repeat that 4 times around. So it'll go up from 16 stitches up to 20 stitches around. Okay, so this way we're going to increase it up a little bit more, and it'll have a little bit fatter of a body, just a little bit, which will be kind of nice. We're still going to have to do some weird increases in the next round though, so we'll put this down for a second as I think that through. Might be a good time to start adding our face, actually. All right, there's our body starting to shape up. And you see what I mean? It's like kind of just, it's just increasing it like really big right now. So it's starting to get bigger right there. And this is where we can add our face. Should we do the face now, or should we go a little bit further? Let's go a little further, actually. Yeah, we'll go a little further, and then we'll come back and add our face in. Yeah, that sounds good. Love raccoons. Raccoons are my favorite. Okay. Let's go to round 9 now, I believe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, round 9. In round 9, I think what I want to do for round 9 is I want there to be more increases in the back than the front, so he's got a sort of a booty starting to form. We currently have 20 stitches. Maybe we can go up to 24 stitches, but we can put the increases. But we can put the increases a little bit further on the back, so we could do like 1, 2. Like I want an increase here, so we want 4 increases, right? So we want, I would say like an increase right here, and then right here, and then increase right there. Okay. So I'm just gonna say this out loud. This is how it's gonna go. This is just how it's gonna have to go. We're gonna do 1 single crochet, and then 1 increase, and then 2 single crochets, and then an increase. That's how we're gonna start. So 1 single crochet in the first, and then an increase into the second, and then 1 single crochet, or then 2 single crochets after that first increase, and then another increase right here. Okay, so that's our start. So that's gonna be how to give it like a bigger booty. And then we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 single crochets after that, I think. So 1, 2, 3. Get more yarn. 4, 5. That's our front. 6. 7, 8, 9, and then we'll do another increase right here. Okay, so 9 single crochets, then an increase, and then 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then we'll do another increase right here, and then 1 single crochet, and then an increase. Okay, so again, just to say that out loud for anybody wanting to repeat this, that was round 9, 1 single, right, round 9? Yeah, round 9 was 1 single crochet, 1 increase, then 2 single crochets, 1 increase, then 9 single crochets, then an increase, then 2 single crochets, an increase, and then 1 single crochet and an increase. That stitch count should bring us up to 24 stitches around. So you should have 24 stitches now at the end of round 9. Wow. I don't even know how I did that. I'm not even sure how I did that. Hello, sugar dumplings. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you're having a great day. Oh, you were fishing for mussels? That's awesome. I've done that once. It's very fun. Okay. Kind of scary though too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and I actually think on our next round we're just gonna do. Actually, we can do the 2 on the sides maybe. I don't want to go straight down from here. I want it to be a little bit bigger. Like I'm imagining him going like if I held this up right here. And I hold this up in a way that you can kind of like line things up. No, I can't really. I can do it in my eyes. No, I can't even do that. Anyhow, the point is, I think we need to get a little fatter. The point is, our boy or they them. I don't know. I don't know what to gender this angelic alien, but they need a little bit more body yaddy. Just a little bit. So I think I'm just going to put increases in both of these side stitches so that it increases on the sides a little bit bigger. I don't think we need an increase in the front. Maybe we need one in the back. We're at 24 stitches, so that'll bring us up to 27, which actually would be kind of nice because then we could decrease by 3 and then decrease it down and then decrease it down. Let's do it that way. Benjamin, welcome to the loop, dude. Welcome. That last increase makes it 25. Oh, really? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You're a genius, Cooper. Thank you so much for telling me. That is 25 stitches. Okay, so we want to bring it up. Let's just bring it up 4 stitches then. Which... No, 3 stitches. Yeah, let's just still bring it up 3 stitches. You know what? We'll do an increase right here in the first stitch. Because it's kind of like the tail end of our piece. This is the back of our guy, right? And it's kind of starting to creep to the right, as crochet will do. So if we put the increase over a little bit to the left there, it'll kind of like hopefully re-even where that center is. Yeah. Their beauty transcends gender. I believe you are correct. All right, so we're going to do... Actually, let's just do the 2 on the sides. Let's just do the 2 on the sides. That'll only go to 25, 26, 26. Yeah, that'll go to 27 still. Let's just do it. So, okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 6 single crochets and then an increase on the side. 7 and 8. Okay, and then we're going to do... I don't know how many that is. I think that's 9, maybe 10 actually. Let me see. But single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was right. 10. 10 single crochets and then another increase right here. So that should be 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. And then 7 single crochets to get to the end of the round, which brings us up to 27 stitches around, which is exactly what we wanted. Perfect. Perfect. That's me doing the voice of the guy in Super Smash Brothers when you complete all of the destroy the targets. Perfect. All right, anyhow, we're going to that body's getting body-yaddy-yaddied. That's looking pretty. I like it. I'm liking it. It looks good. Now we're going to do just 1 or 2 rounds of single. I think just 1. Let's just do 1 round of single crochets and see how that goes. So 1 round, all single crochets, 27 stitches around, easy squeezy. Lemon peasy. You are stash busting, so you have room when you buy new yarn. I love that, Benjamin. I love it, Benji. Well, if you're not yet, dude, I highly suggest you subscribe to this channel. I think you would quite like it. We do weird streams like this all the time. This one, I will say, is one of our weirdest live streams. I don't know. Chat, what do you think? Would you consider this like top tier on the weirdo live streams? Because it feels weird to me. Like one of the weirder of the ones. Usually we do like a crochet along of one of the patterns that I've made. But this time we're kind of like designing a pattern live. And it's who knows what it's going to be kind of thing. I don't know. It's happening. The thing is, it's happening. All right, so that is all single crochets across. I think we take a break now from our single crocheting and we finally sew on our face. Or not, yeah, I think we add our face now because I think that's going to help us get an idea of what we want for the rest of our pieces. Not weird. Okay, so not weird, but this is a very unique live stream. We're going to go with that. Okay, so the first thing is what we rolled. We gotta have them. They need a kissy face. And that is law, and that is good, and that is right. And God on the bagillionth day said, let there be kissy face. All right. I say we make the kissy face first, and then we'll add our eyes, because the kissy face might help us determine where we want the eyes. Now, I'm pretty good at doing kissy faces, at least I have been in the past, so I'm hoping this should be a pretty easy, straightforward face. So that'll be right here for the center. Let's see how it goes. Go 1, and then we're gonna go down 1. Should we go down there? Yeah, we'll go down there and out to here. Let's see how this goes. We might have to do this a few times to get it perfect, and that's all right. That happens. And we'll go down into that same one. And now, there you go. Look at that. Isn't that a perfectly kissy face? No? Oh, okay. Well then, I guess I don't know what I'm doing then. Just kidding, I do. We're gonna go. Actually, I don't really like where that is though, so I am gonna undo that. I was making a joke, but I'm starting to actually regret where I placed this. So we're gonna do this again. Hold on. I need to use my big dumb brain. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can do it that way instead and then attach to here. Okay, so we're going to do it in a few different spots this time. This time I'm going to do it from the bottom up. 1 there. Actually, it is in the same spot. I take it back. We're going to the same spot that we just did, and we'll see how it goes. 1, 2, and 3, like that. Okay, and that gives us 2 horizontal lines. And then what we can do is come out through like right here. Maybe. Like that. And then I'm going to go around this horizontal bar here. And it should pull us over to be more of like a kissy shape. Hopefully it's not too far away. I'm worried that the kissiness is going to be too like opened, and it'll look more like a Botox problem. Actually, that might work. And then we'll go with this one right here. This one I have our tail end slack to work with, so we don't have to stress too much about the slack part. And hopefully that'll pull us into more of a kissy shape. Like that, kinda. That's pretty kissy. I think I can do a little bit of tightening though. And the one that really needs tightening though is that second loop, which is actually the hardest part to tighten. But that's okay. I believe in us. So that tightens it there. And then if I pull this one, we'll tighten that first one. That. I still need enough slack to give it the kissy shape. And then if we pull this tighter. Does that look kissy to you? I think that looks pretty kissy. Maybe I kind of wish I used like more of a thicker yarn, like a thicker thread here to like kind of give this a little bit more of a shape. But you know what, we can kind of like clean it up. The fuzz is just kind of like hiding the black yarn a little bit, but I think that actually does look pretty kissy. Pucker up. Yep, exactly. Pucker up. Kissy kissy. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna say that is kissy face. And we'll double knot softly so we don't mess up our face. That. Okay. There's the cut. And I would say prompt completed. That is a kissy face to me. move this one over a little bit, though. I probably am consistently going to be tweaking and making sure this face is right until the end, but I think it's a good start, for sure. Okay, next up, eyes. I actually kind of think, do we want to have it be winking? What do you think? Winking or not winking? It's got mwah. All right, winking or not winking? Chat, you let me know. Regardless, one of these eyes is going to be open. I'm not doing two closed eyes. So let's go ahead and add one eye. The eye, save it. And then we'll see if we want to add the other one afterwards. So one eye would be like right here, I think. I could go a little higher on the eyes, which might be kind of cuter. I don't know. I actually kind of like it lined up. Ooh, Zoe thinks they should have two closed eyes. Interesting. This would be two open eyes, just for, like, for reference, something like that. That looks very alien to me, but I kind of love it. It definitely looks kissy. Come here, give me a smooch. It should have really small eyes, says someone. Okay, winking would be funny when you reveal it. That's true. Emotion owls. I agree with that, actually. Let's see what we can do. Let me see if I can do a winking eye over here, just so at the very least we can see what a winking eye would look like. It'll also help us like get a better positioning for our eye, which would be nice, because right now the stitches just don't line up in a way that lets me put the eye in the perfect position. But it would be something like this, like that, with a little eyelash, which I think actually is pretty cute. So if we go down to here and back over like that, keep it held up, and then we come back over to give it an eyelash, and then out through the top where we can kind of like lock in that curve like this. This might give it too much of a curve though. I don't know. But it'd be something like that. I don't know if that really... Does that read wink? Actually, it kind of does. It kind of does, right? Maybe I can do another eyelash here too. Let's see if we can do that. Again, we can always remove this. I worry that it's kind of like hard to read now. Is my only dilemma. And probably adding another eyelash is not going to help that. Well, actually, maybe it does. So there's our double eyelash. Here's our winking little happy eye. Let's bring that down a little bit. I kind of feel like the mouth is just not thick enough. The eyes need to be a thicker thread than the mouth. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. And Kaylin wants the wink on the other side. Okay, but we do like the wink. The problem is not the wink, the idea of the wink. The problem is the wink itself. Okay, heard. Heard, chef. Well, guess what? I can fix that. Someone else said that they think everything needs to be higher up. Which, yeah, I think we can make either one of those kind of work. Regardless, though, I agree. I think this needs to be a thicker yarn. So I'm going to use a black yarn split instead of using a thread. Which I know I got black yarn somewhere. Ha ha ha! It was at our feet the whole time. Pretty sure Joel's just headed out for rehearsals. Jules is in a show right now. She's in a Friends show. And I'm very excited to see it. It's called Elegies. Alright. So this is our thicker yarn, which I think Zoe's right. I think this will give it more of like an eye shape. And then someone says that the mouth needs to be more visible. Oh boy, we have a lot of thoughts here. Okay, wait, let's start with this. Let's just start one part at a time, which is Well, we could do the eye. I'm worried about putting the eye on this side, to be completely honest with you, Kaylin. And the reason I'm worried about it coming on this side is because the way the stitches line up, I can see that it's going to make the eyes look like one is way further than the other if I do it on the opposite side. So I'm going to try doing it over here instead still. And hopefully we can make it look a little bit sweeter. Okay, so down through this stitch right there. And I just want this, I barely want it up too. I just want it like barely up. I don't know if we need eyelashes. We could probably add eyelashes. Let's go ahead and just start by seeing if I can't get it through this weird stitch. Like, yeah, like that. Like I want it in the middle of a stitch to get that eyelid in the perfect position. And then we'll go around the yarn of the eye. And then hopefully I can pull this in without it creating too much of a like V. Yeah, see how it's so V? So V. And then if I pull this one a little tighter, I'm hoping it'll thin it out a little bit more. Kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like that. Okay, so it's a little bit thicker. Looks like it's got a little bit more motion to it too. And then we can add, I might be down to like renegotiate this mouth just a little bit to make this yarn thicker. But actually it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice that the yarn is a little thin there. I don't know. What do we think, team? Should we add the eye? Let's try adding eyelashes using that thinner yarn too. Yeah, we like the eyelashes. Okay, well, let's go ahead. I'm just going to knot this, and then I'm going to add eyelashes using that thinner thread. And I do think we actually do still have space for cheeks. And the reason I didn't want to go much higher on these eyes, by the way, I know someone said maybe bring the eyes up a little bit more to give the mouth more space, but I worry about the halo, you know, covering up parts of it. Yeah, definitely. Eyelashes on both eyes, no question. Okay, let's do that. Let's give that a shot. So we're going to start with this. I'm going to use this thinner yarn for that. And we definitely want eyelashes on the eye. Aye, Captain. All right, so I'm going to do eyelashes on this eye right away because I really think that's going to add a lot. And we can do it before we lock it in so the eyelashes kind of end up under the eye. So we'll do one right here. I don't know if I need 2 eyelashes or just one will work. And one doesn't really show up enough, right? Like you can see it there. It gives you the hint of an eyelash, but it's not really an eyelash. Let's do one up higher up too and see how that looks. That. And then back down into the eye. Like this. Right? I like it. Maybe if I can like bring it down a little bit more. Or bring this one out a little bit more. Maybe we could actually make that first eyelash a little bit wider. I'm kind of getting a little too subtle here. And we do want to do little cheeks maybe under each of these eyelashes. But I don't know. I think we're kind of going a little heavy on the face right now. I like the kissy face though. Okay, I'm going to stick with these eyelashes and see if I can go ahead and mimic this on the opposite end. Okay, we'll double knot. 1 and 2. I can't wait till we come up with whatever the heck the name of this little critter is. She's so cute. They're so cute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just the eyelashes make you so cute. Okay. Next one. All right. And And for the other eye, we're going to go right here on the corner, and I'm going to try to mimic those eyelashes. I don't even know if you're going to notice them, but it's worth a shot. One. I mean, you can see it, right? Let's see. If I did another one, it would be up here, which I actually think might not be nice. Maybe I can get one just right there. Yeah, let's try that. I'm running out of thread. We still have a burb head to make too, so we got some crocheting to do. And we have a buff body and perhaps a tail. I don't know yet about the tail. We got some work to do. All right, there's the double eyelash. Actually, I do like the double eyelash. Yeah, I think that's nice. You can tell it's an eyelash a lot more too there. And there's our eye. Mwah! I like it. Okay. They can use all the pronouns because they transcend gender. I agree. I agree. He can use all the pronouns because she transcends gender. And they're just awesome like that. All right. Boom. Eyelashes. Cute mouth. Another eyelash over there. I don't know about the cheeks just yet, so we're going to come back to the cheek idea later, because I can always add that at the end. They're definitely a queen, no doubt, Sophia. Cooper says me if I was born a burb. Cooper, I believe you were born a burb. I think we all were. No, maybe that's not true. We can't all be burbs. But you can. Okay. Next up, let's just add this burb head just so you can see how it's going to fit. Okay, great. Wow. And then, ah, mwah, mwah. I listened to this. I really like this one song, and I don't know what the lyrics are, but it starts with, mwah. Okay, anyhow. Do we want it bigger? Or do we want to start pulling it in now? What else do we need? We have wings. Here and here. Not wings. Flippers. Here and here. We're going to have a buff body. I mean, honestly, we're not doing bad on time, actually. Let's do another round of single crochets here. So if you are crocheting along with me, I am on round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So round 12 is going to be the same as round 11, which would be a single crochet in every stitch around. I'm actually not going to work around their stitch marker this time and just keep track of the end of the rounds. But another round of just single crochets all the way around will bring us one stitch bigger. And this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not sure how many stitches. 7, 8. I think it's 27 stitches. I think. I'm kind of hoping it's 27 because if it's 27, that means that I can decrease it next round down by 3 and then start decreasing it an even amount after that, which would be, I think, a little bit cleaner. But we'll see. We'll see where we're at after this round. Birds aren't real. That's true. Birds are not real. They're non-burbinary? I love it. I also like the idea that this is just like, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this lore that's starting to create in my mind. My thought is that this is not a burb, and yet it is it's some kind of other creature, but it's disguising itself as a burb. So it's trying to also, like, so in the world of Gumia, or in this yarniverse that I'm building, burbs are actually not from the main yarniverse that everything else is from. They're a multi-dimensional species that's from a universe called Egg, AIGG. And in that universe, hold on. So we want to decrease it 3 times now, right? 1 decrease here at the end, 1 decrease here on the side, and then 1 decrease in the center would be 1 decrease. Okay, wait. 1, 2, decrease. 1, 2, decrease. Yeah. All right. So for this round, this is going to be round 10, 11, 12. We're on round 13. You know, I'm going to use this as a round tracker for us. We're on round 13. And for round 13, wait, right? Yeah. For round 13, we're doing 2 single crochets. And then an invisible decrease. And then 2 single crochets. So repeating that one more time. And then another invisible decrease. And then we're going to do single crochets all the way until the very end. That will be, I don't know how many stitches. I'm going to count while we go. So that's going to be a bunch of single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, there we go. 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. Looks like it's going to be 17 single crochets and then a last invisible decrease to finish the round up. And it should be at 24 stitches around. Let me count that out again. 1, 2, 3 is a decrease, 4, 5, 6 is a decrease, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then 24. Yeah, we have the right amount of stitches. Okay, that's the round there. Let me know if you need me to repeat that. But I think that's pretty good. And our body yaddy yaddy is coming together rather. All right, next round. We are on round 14. For round 14 here, I'm going to start decreasing it down evenly now. So now it's going to be 2 single crochets and then an invisible decrease repeated 6 times around. So this time we're going to get a little bit more even. So 1, 2, and then an invisible decrease. This is going to bring us down from 24 stitches to 18 stitches. So basically at this point, I think we're going to just start decreasing it down normally. And then after this round, we can start adding in our, we'll add on our fins, and we'll, I think we can sew on our buff body too. I'm not totally sure about how to do the, I think we might need to make the, halo, by the way. I think we need to replace angelic on the magical, on the magic. Actually, you know what? Y'all can give me those opinions too. 1, 2, and then we're going to decrease here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. So I was talking about lore, and then I totally got distracted. And I'm about to get distracted again. All right, there's our decrease. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think this is, I actually think, like, comparatively, this is looking not bad. Okay. Wing, wing, wing. Telephone. Who is it? It's your flippers. Here for you to be flippy. Like that, right? Or should we sew on the, let's do the buff body. Is that crazy to do the buff body first? Let's see how this would look. I'm thinking that if I went with this darker purple, it might kind of accentuate the buffness of our body yaddy yaddy. So let's give that a shot. And then if it doesn't, it doesn't. And then we go with a double, maybe like a double of our lavender or something, so that it does stick out, but it's not like super duper distracting. Instead of being a buff gym dude, bro, they are a buff alien bird bean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Buff bod. I need to draw this. Oh, no, wait. We have a drawing right here. So we got one basic line down the center. Like, I just want to try to figure out where the wings are. Okay, so I'm going to go like here. Yeah, like there. And then we're going to go down to create the very center of our buff bod, which will go down to like there, giving us enough space for feet. Oh, is this too... This might actually be over too far on the right. Let's go ahead and we'll move it one over to the left. So right here. I have no idea what stitch this is, by the way. Like that. We'll go down a few stitches to down here. And then this will create our center line. And then we'll create abs over it and like a chest right here that goes over all that. Okay, so abs next. I think we need one line. Do abs... I know this is stupid. I don't have abs. Okay, fine. I admit it. I don't have abs. And I need to Google abs. Sorry. Oh. Louis doesn't have abs. Oh, Louis weak. Get out of here. Cartoon abs. Does it end with double line or does it go straight down is the question. Okay, so it does do like a line out. Okay. Listen, is this the first time I've Googled cartoon abs? That's for me to know and you to never find out. All right, we're going to go ahead and sew this over too, like that. Okay, so that creates like the bottom of our abs. And then we'll go one up, like maybe like to up here. One stitch out will give us our second layer of abs, like that. And then we'll do a third layer of abs, one more stitch up and out, like that. This is gonna look so silly. That would go over like this. I mean, I think that kind of looks like abs. Right? And then, especially if I did like, if maybe I can bring this one up a little bit like that. And then this one up a little bit like that. Or maybe it should go over actually more. So if this one goes over to here and up, then we can put a little nipple here and a little nipple here. Does it need nipples? What a stupid question. Does it need nipples? What am I doing with my life? You know what? I love what I do with my life. I think it's great. And I think that this is exactly what the world needs. Is some dude crocheting an alien with nipples. I think that's a fine thing. And we need more of it in our world. That's what I think. But who knows? Maybe I'm just a freak. My question is, do I just go over like that? He kind of looks like he's on a grill. If I do it just straight over like that. This is the ideal alien bod. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance look like. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Okay. I think it goes over like that. And then, like, if I go over like that, and then I go up like this, right? And then back down to here, and then, I don't know, this might be too much, but if I come back over like this, and I go up like this, it might give it a little bit more of a peck vibe. Like this. Maybe not. And then if I did like nipple there, a nipple there. Actually, I don't even know if it really needs nips, though. Actually, I don't think I like where it goes up, either. I don't think it really looks like pecs. I don't know. What do you guys think? I really need feedback here. Yeah, the one person that joins the stream and goes like, what is happening? I think that... You know what? Here, I have an idea. Let's try this. If we take this out, this kind of covers... This actually might solve a few problems here. So if we pull this out like that, we pull this body yaddy yaddy part out like that, we come up to there instead with it, like this. Pecs would need to be rounder. Yeah, I agree. There we go. Pull this out. I go down. This won't look like it until I add the nips, but I go down, I go under this first strand so that it shows the division line a little bit more, you know? And then it comes up and over to this stitch right here, which will give it more of that rounded shape. And I know it's gonna have like a really rounded shape right now, but the plan is if I add the little nippies right here, so wait, let's go out. That. Okay, I pull it a little tighter. That. And then if I pull in right there, and this will pull this down and give us nips at the same time. That's our goal. So if we come out here, we go around this end, and then back into the stitch. I actually might do it twice. Let's do it twice. One, that, and then back in. And then we do the same thing on this side. So it'll be like that. I don't know, actually. I don't know. He's got they have very low nips now. But those kind of look like little boobers now. Like, does that look like pecs to you? I actually don't know if that does look like pecs anymore. Maybe I should have done thinner yarn for all of this. What does Sophia say? Oh, yeah. Halo can still fix that. Okay, so I think the nips can go there. Let's take this back. I need to undo this, the right or the left nippy right here. So it needs to get fixed a little bit because I doubled it up, and actually I thought it might look good, but it actually doesn't look that good. It kind of just makes it look like a mess. I also could do this in like a different shade, which might help a little bit. I don't know. Help me, chat. You're my only hope. A cleavage line? I think... Wait. What is... Yeah, you think maybe a cleavage line might be it. That's what that was supposed to be. But you think even more of a cleavage line might be more helpful? I think you might be right. Like this. Like if that went up even higher. Up to that center part. That is actually a relatively easy fix since the tail end is right here. So I could kind of just pull this out and bring it up one stitch. Actually, yeah, let's just do that now. Okay, so instead of going into right here, we're going to go all the way up to like here with it. If I can. All Yeah, that gives it a little bit more of a pecky look. Yeah, I think you're totally right. And then, yeah, we'll just bring this one down for the nippy, and then we'll bring it over to the other one. And the kind of nice thing about this is like, they could be interpreted as nips, or they could not. And I kind of like that ambiguousness. Bring that down. Right there. And then one right here. Like this. There we go. And I'll try to round this out a little bit more by bringing up the center part just a little bit. Bring down that part. I'm cool with this. How do we feel? That's a great question, Kaylin. I can answer that in a second. Thinner yarn might help. Do you think we should do that? Because what we could do is we could do like one thin strand to give like a glistening look. Or I could just do thinner yarn in general here. That's a buff. Hey, you know what? If you don't tell me that looks like a buff boy, I don't know what else to buffify it. I actually also think that maybe the center line should go over these. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to straight up do that right now. Because I totally think that this center line needs to go over those middle parts. It goes like that, and then goes over it like this. Which, yeah, that totally helps, I think. A very buff bean. Okay, cool. All right, we're going to come up to here. And we're going to call this a buff boy. And we're going to move on to adding on the fins. That are not wings. They are fins. Okay. Because apparently this alien is from a water planet? I don't know. Why does it have fins? We asked aloud. Does it need fins? Maybe the air on their planet is such that it is so dense that it is almost water-like. So their wings are more like fins than they are really wings. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. All right. I like it. I like what we got going on here. I mean, it's weird as heck, but I do kind of like it. All right. Let's add these. It's a space surfer. Oh, I like that. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad you like the center line over too, Zoe. All right, next up, we're going to add on our little fins. I'm going to do one fin right here. And I think I'm just going to make the fins like flat, like that. It'll make it a lot easier also. So we just do this. I was going to try to give them a bit of like an angle to them, like this. Which we could do. You know, so that way they're angled out a little bit more. But I was actually kind of thinking maybe it should be flat like that. What do you think? Finned? This looks more like wings to me than a fin. Well, actually, it kind of could be either way. Help me, chat. You're my only hope. There, and then there. Yeah, okay, I'll split the difference. It'll be like angled out, so not directly horizontal. Okay, Vonley thinks that doing them not flat makes them look too much like wings. Okay, so we can do that. I can listen to that. Yeah. Yeah. Down. Okay, cool. By the way, Kaylin asked me, why are all the horns and teeth and stuff different? It depends on the character, really, is the reason why I do that. So some characters I really want it to have a more pointy teeth, and some I want it to be more soft teeth. Some I need to be more long teeth. So that's usually why the difference is there. You can kind of do anything, though, and it's not that big of a deal. But that's my reasoning for why certain teeth on like the dinosaurs and stuff are different than the other ones. Yeah, it was definitely thought. Like there was thought behind that. It wasn't just like, now we'll do it this way. I had them, like the troll's teeth, for example, were the same as like goblin teeth, but it kind of made the troll's teeth look a little too rounded and simple, so I made them a bit bigger. And then that's the same thing with the T-Rex teeth. The T-Rex teeth needed to be a little bit more pointy. So because the T-Rex teeth need to be more pointy, I added an extra chain for that reason. So, yeah. Okay, next up is the second wing. Just like the two-winged bird. I think we're going to go... How many stitches over did I do? Like 1, 2 stitches over from the one. So 1, 2 stitches over from this one would be like that. Yeah, that's a pretty perfectly lined up one. Perfect. Okay, so we'll start with the center. And we'll go that, right? 1, 2. 2 would be right there. Okay, yeah. That's not too far over, I don't think. Whoop. One up, ba-doop. Be-deep, ba-doop, ba-doop. Thank you, Sophia. Hey, you know what? If you are also watching this live stream right now or after the fact and you think this is really cool, I'm invested, I want to know what happens, you should like this video down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit the little bell icon and I will let you know, or YouTube will let you know whenever we come out with new videos. Okay, we're going to tighten this one. Pull that down. And then I'm going to go around this first stitch like that. Pull that in, which I think it'll just make the fin look a little bit cleaner on the side of it. I like how the fins kind of angle up like that too. I think that makes them look more like fins also. All right. So there's our fins. They currently don't have a tail. I'm still debating if a tail is necessary or not, but feet are absolutely necessary, as is a halo. So let's start with the halo. Hey, what kind of burb head should we give him, by the way? Any suggestions on what type of burb you think might be a good, fun addition to this? I mean, we could go classic, go the pigeon route. We could go weird. We could do a cockatiel or something. That could be kind of fun. I do think we should probably have the burb's head be this purple, or like work with the shades of the rest of the colors of our piece. I think that would just add a lot, or like, you know, make it look a little bit cleaner. But I'm open to suggestions is basically what I'm saying. All right, before I do that though, let's do a halo. Now here's my plan for the halo, because some people were like, Kaylin, I cannot sanction that specific one for reasons that you know. Okay, so I'm going to add a halo here, and I think the halo is going to be pretty slight. Like, I'm going to use this golden thread for this, or not thread, golden wire. I like penguin, actually. Penguin might be kind of fun. So let's do like this, especially like a purple penguin, like dark purple on the outside and then light purple on the inside. That could be kind of cute. Maybe we could get a vote going on soon for that. Okay, so next we want to do a circle in this. So we'll just use the pen for that. So I'm just going to create a little circle. Oh, that's going to be too small of a circle. We need a bigger spherical rounded shape. Pelican. Whoa. That's crazy. I don't know how to do a pelican right now, but I really, 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 really like that idea for a future burb. So I'm going to keep that in the back of my noggin. Let's see. Is this too big? Maybe this will work. If I go around just the base part of that like this. I guess we can kind of just like fudge it. Like that big. Right? Like that big maybe? Okay. We're gonna go like that big. And then I'm gonna go and wind these two ends like this. And then this part will go down. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna keep winding it like that. That way we have these two ends. We'll have a strong part like that. And then this will go into the stitches on the back so that it goes just over the head like that to make it angelic. That's my plan. Thoughts? Do you hate it? Do you love it? I kind of like it. So, Go ahead and cut this wire. And then we're just going to put these two tail ends of this wire into the body from two different stitches, and then we can wind the two ends on the inside. That way it stays in position, but it's still wire, so it'll give us some room to like kind of wiggle it around. I'm also going to remove these stitch markers before we do this. So let's go ahead and nix these ones here. Okay. Keep those out of the way. And I'm going to go, we want it like right there. Whoa, there's a helicopter like flying right over our place right now. We'll go like right there. That'd be too high? Maybe. Let's go like right, let's try it like right here and right here. Like this. I probably should have done this earlier on in the head part, but that's okay. Like that. That's a pretty solid distance, I think, for it. Right? Oh my gosh. Dude, look at that. Tell me that ain't a perfect halo. And then look at this. The head goes over the halo. No problem. Head comes off. Halo's still there. Heck yeah, that's what we're doing. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to kind of pull this guy inside out and hope that it doesn't mess up the face too much. We might need to kind of fix the face a little bit after this, but that's all right. And I'm just going to wind this wire together on the inside so that way it stays attached, and then I'll just cut the ends nice and close. Boom. And boom. I think this alien thingy needs a... So we need double names here. We need a name for whatever their name is, but then we also desperately are going to need a name for whatever, like, the type of critter this is, you know? Let me go ahead and, like, kind of fold this over to bend it into position. All right, like that maybe. Nice. I like that. I actually really like that halo. Okay, so now we've got a halo. We got our fins. We got our eyes. We've got our buff body. We need gangly legs most definitely, and we're still gonna need... We also might want to add cheeks, but I actually think there's so much going on in the face that I think cheeks might pull away from what the face is. So let's go ahead and sew it closed, because the feet stuff and the gangly little legs, I'm actually able to bring that in afterwards. But the tail, well, whatever, we can add a tail on afterwards as well. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stuff our critter up a little bit. Still looking for suggestions when it comes to naming. We need name suggestions for both the name of what this is and the name of what their name is. So, for example, like Samantha would be their name, but the type of creature they are is a oh, there we go. An aura. Whoa, that's actually a really good name there. An Aurelican, Aurelican, because they got good aura. I kind of like that. Prisma, thank you so much for the support. Oh my gosh, thank you. I totally didn't even mention that part of it, so I really appreciate you. Prisma just gave an extra, gave $2. They tipped $2. Thank you, Prisma. You rock. You know what, Prisma? We're gonna add. I'll add in. And that was for giving it flippers. Well, thank you. Here, Prisma. This goes into the giveaway for you. Thank you for the support, Prisma. You rock. Okay. I also have a little bells that we could use for the. That could be kind of fun. Well, whatever. Let's I've stuffed it a little bit. Let's start to close it up even more now. It should have 18 stitches around, I believe. So now we can close it up. We're going to do... Oopsies. We're going to do round... I don't know what round I'm on. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We finished round 14. We're on round 15. Round 15 of the body. We're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 invisible decrease, repeating that 6 times around to go down from 18 stitches down to 12 stitches around. So we'll have 12 stitches. Okay, that's a pretty easy round. And don't worry, I have not forgotten about the legs. And or how do I say that? Ooh, Darby is a good name suggestion. Hold on, I gotta write these things down. Let me finish this round up and then I'll start writing these names down. Darby is a great first name suggestion, as is Aurelican. Is it Cian, do you think, Kaylin, or do you think it's Kian? How do you pronounce what you wrote, is what I'm asking. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to stuff it a little bit more now before I do my very last round, and I'm going to write down those names really quick. Okay. Don't worry about that halo. We'll fix that at the end. All right. Let me write these names down. Darby. Aura. Lycian. Yes, okay. Aurelician. I like it. Darby is a great first name. Hey, those are... I only got 2 now. We need 4 names at least from each of these segments in order to do a vote. So go ahead and give me vote names if anybody's got any suggestions. I can't believe I have not seen a name suggestion from Zoe yet, and that's okay. Zoe, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but I think we know you're an MVP. Okay. All right. Decreasing it down. This is going to be the last round for our body, which is going to be decreasing it down completely. Now, I'm going to do a sharp decrease. Yeah, I'm just going to do a sharp decrease for each stitch around, which is like basically a slip stitch 2 together. But you can use any kind of decrease that you want. The only reason I'm doing this is so that it has more of a flat bottom, so that they sit upright a little bit easier. And honestly won't help that much because we're going to have those gangly legs in the way, but it might help a little bit. It's worth a shot. Ooh. There we go. And last one right there. Boom. And then another one right here. Boom. Okay. All right, now we're going to cut it, stuff it up as much as we want, and then sew it closed. This. This is what we need, stuffing. All right, so stuffing it closed. And then adding our legs. Now the legs, I have a very specific idea in mind on how I'm going to do the legs. And I'm actually pretty excited about it. Which is utilizing a technique from a friend's pattern. Which would be Mr. Drew. Mr. Drewby Zoo. Who does patterns very rarely, but every now and then for Club Crochet. And his most recent one was from actually like 2 years ago now. But it was for a... Crowbot was the name of it. And he had these like gangly little legs that I think would be perfect for this. And also like kind of easy to make. So it's kind of like a double whammy of, oh, that's nice. All right. There we go. Face a little bit, and we still have a Burp's body to make too, or Burp's head to make, so don't think we're out of the weeds yet. All right, I think this is good as far as like density. Maybe we can add just a little bit more density. A buff Gwyn, I love it. Prisma, I'll add it to the list. A Kisquatch, oh my gosh, these name suggestions are great. Okay, wait, hold on, I gotta get those in. Okay, let me write those down. All right, other name suggestions. We got a... Hold on. Halofin. Sheldon is a great name for the first part. We got Buff Gwyn. Saint Buffin. See what I mean? I was like, I know that Zoe's gonna bring some weird ones. Kisquatch. Right, Kisquatch, yes. Kisquatch. Alright, great. I'm loving this. Loving this. Alright. Next thing we need to do is gangly little feets. Let's go ahead and sew this closed, and we'll add our gangly feet. Actually, did I forget to do a decrease? No, I don't think so. Whatever. All right, close this up. Hide the end. We'll remove our stitch marker as well. Cut this end. All right. There's our body, yaddy yaddy. Now we need to make these gams, these gangly little gams. All right, gangly gams. How are we doing that? We are going to look up our Crowbot pattern because that will help us out a lot. Crowbot. Boom. Crowbot. Crowbot 3000. Hips, 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 hips. Chin, head, torso. Where are the legs? Limbs, there we go. Okay. So pretty easy here on the limbs. We're going to use our same lavender yarn for this. It's basically making a little ball and then making a long chain that connects it to it. So we're going to start with a magic loop, and we're going to do 6 single crochets into the magic loop, which will get us started for our first round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then we want For round 2, we're going to do an increase. So we're going to single crochet 2 into every stitch around, which will bring us up to 12 stitches around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not too hard, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Tiny? I like the name Tiny. I can add that name. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. It's been a while since I've seen this pattern, so that's a very interesting way to do it. Cool. All right, back to it. Let's go. So 2 rounds of single crochets now, of just 12 stitches in each round. Is this too big for a leg? This might be really freaking big for the leg. Maybe we should do it smaller. Let's do it smaller. I'm going to undo that last round. And instead of increasing up to 12, we're going to increase it up to 9. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first and then an increase in the next, and repeat that 3 times around. So instead of going up to 12, we're going to only go up to 9 stitches around for the feet. So 1 single crochet in the first, 1 increase in the next, 3 times to 9 stitches. I think that makes more sense because it'll be like a nice smaller leg, which will kind of like match the body yaddy yaddy. Like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable. I like it. We got some great name suggestions going on in the chat right now. I love it. All right, next round, I'm just doing a single crochet into each stitch for this next round. This is round 3 of the legs. I don't know if I'm going to do it one more bigger or not. Like taller legs or not. Let's find out. All right, so that's that. Yeah, we'll just decrease it down. That way it's a smallish leg. I like it. Yeah, we're going to do that. So now we're going to decrease down. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then an invisible decrease into the next stitch. We'll repeat that 3 times around, which will bring us back down to 6 stitches around. 1, and then a decrease here. Oops. And then 1. That, and then we're going to decrease right here. All right, this is going to be the fun part, which is adding it to the body. First up, let's stuff this just a little bit. We actually don't really need to stuff it that much. We can start by stuffing it with these tail end, and then maybe just a little tiny bit of stuffing on top of that. Let's use this instead. Okay. Just a little bit of this. It's too much. Okay, then the next step of adding these legs is to chain it up to be as long as we want the little leg part of this. So we take this. I think we slip stitch actually in the next stitch first too. Let me look. Chad? I love that name suggestion. Hold on. I do like that. Oh no, we don't slip stitch. We just chain it up. Okay, so now we chain it. I think let's start with 6 and see how that looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be that long for the leg. I think that's pretty good actually. Because when he's held up and then when he's sitting down, he's like that. It's kind of long, but I think that adds more to the alienatingness. What do you think? Do you think that's too long? It's actually going to be longer than that, so it'll be down to here. What do we think? Or do we have it like this? I would say that's gangly, by the way, for legs. All right, we're going to go with it. I'm going to go into this next stitch. We're going to go right here, and then over to here. So this is just where the torso basically is. Yarn over. I'm going to slip stitch to that. Okay, so now it connects in, and then I'm going to work my way back down the legs into the top of the chains. And we're just going to slip stitch down to the gams, or to the feet rather. And then we're going to sew it all together. That's the plan right there. See, so that way it's like it kind of attaches itself. And they're a little loosely attached, but I kind of like that. Yeah. Everett. Everett is a really good name suggestion too. Okay, wait one sec. There is 6, I think. And I'm going to slip stitch to this. I think I'm going to slip stitch right to the base of this first. Actually, no, I don't know if we actually really need to. I think I can cut the yarn right here and just sew this closed. Like that. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to cut the yarn here. Pull it out. And then I'm going to just sew that foot closed. Hopefully I can repeat this for the next leg pretty clearly. And then we're just going to go through the front loops of all the legs, of all the foot stitches rather. Like this. Four. There's 5, and then one more right here. And then we just pull this tight, and it should just close that leg up. Very nice. Back into the center, out through somewhere on the side, where we can cut that end. Boom. We could have added toes onto these legs too, but that counts, right? Would you say that is gangly? I would say that is a gangly leg. I like it. I like it. Okay. Before I do my second leg here, let's go ahead and write down a couple more of our name suggestions. We still have one leg to do and a burb head, and then maybe a tail. I'm actually starting to rethink the tail option, but I'm open to suggestions there. Okay, so let me go back for a second. Okay. Flock. And I'm just going to like pick what row this is based on what the name suggestion is, by the way. Like Nugget feels like a first name. What else we got? St. Buffin. Miss Finch. Okay. Martin. Ooh, Trizopra. Toppling. Okay. I like toppling for a type of critter. And then what was the other one? Ooh, that's hard to say though. Tzipora. Everett. I really like the name Everett. For a first name, I think that's a good one. I'm actually going to star that one. That's how much I like it. So that makes it to the top 4. Goob. Okay, so Goob could be a good first name, but it also could be a good last name. Goob. Floss. Flossie. And Bubba. And yes, on the gangly. Norton wants to know what this animal is. Very good question. We are coming up with a name for whatever it is right now. So if you have an idea on what it would be called, We're looking for suggestions. Okay. Next up, secondary leg. We're almost done, actually. So this is pretty exciting. I think we might. There is a serious possibility that we do this in our actual time limit, but we might end up actually passing our 6 o'clock end date tonight. That's all right. We got to finish what we started. It's just the burb head that's really gonna make it take more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, for the feet, we do 6 in the first round. Second round, we do 1 single crochet in the first and increase into the next. Repeated 3 times around to go up from 6 to 9 stitches around. Relatively straightforward there, except for the yarn is not behaving because this is not club crochet yarn, which means that it's easier for us to accidentally split. Because club crochet amigurumi cotton yarn is like really wound together very well, so it doesn't split as well or as easily. Whereas this, I believe we're using Lily Sugar and Cream yarn right now, which does have a tendency to be easier to accidentally split. I still like the yarn, it's just it's a little bit more difficult to crochet with. Oh, tsunami? I like that. Tz. I like that. So his name would be, if it was that TZ word, it would be Tzipora. I like it. Like how tsunami is. Okay. And this next round is going to be 1 single crochet in the first and then a decrease, invisible decrease into the next, repeated 3 times to bring our stitch count back down to 6, and then we'll do our chain thing. You get it. You get it. All right. Last one. One here. Decreasing this one down. Nice. And then we want to stuff this a little bit before we do this next part. What a weird creation we've just made, by the way. What do we think about roll for crochet, by the way? Everybody in the chat. Any suggestions for next time? What would you change? What do you like? What do you dislike about this? Should we have spells? Should we have more options? Do you think it should be more customizable? Yeah, what do you think about this in general? This idea of doing a roll for crochet? Because I would honestly be down to do this much more often if people like it, because I think it's pretty fun. All right, chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna attach it in the same direction. So it's 1, 2 stitches away, 1, 2, so it'd be right there. Over and in. Okay. And then I'm just gonna slip stitch all the way down to the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. All right. Cut the yarn. Nice. And then we'll pull that up. Yep. I think that looks like the right places. Cool. And then just sew it closed. Kathy is a fan. Appreciate that, Kathy. Fan of the roll for crochet. I like that you like it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next one, 6. All right. Pull this tight. In, out somewhere. Pull it nice and tight. Just cut close. All right. Here's our gams. I don't know if I really want to add a tail. I kind of like it like this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it needs a tail? I kind of like how like goofy, weird it's looking. I love that. I love that suggestion, Zoe. Yeah, do you think it needs a tail or not? I kind of think it doesn't, honestly. I think it looks pretty good without the tail, especially when we're going to add, or because we're about to add a burb head to it. So the burb head, we want to do like kind of a penguinish head with a... Hold on, I need to open up... I need to open up a file here. One moment. I need to find the... Because I do actually have a pattern that could be useful here. There it is. Wait. No, that's not it. There. Oh, it's that one. Yeah. Okay. Uno momento, por favor. Yes. There we go. All right, let's try this for the head. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to try dark purple as like the... Like, I'll kind of give it a penguin-y vibe. I don't know if we want to add white or not, but I do think that dark purple should be the accent color because it'll pop with the rest of the body a little bit more. So we'll put this to the side. And the burbs' heads have a usually like a pretty normal shape to them. So let's go ahead and do... we're going to kind of use the owl idea here. So we're going to start with a magic loop and single crocheting 6 times into the magic loop. And no tail. Okay, I'm glad you just said that. I appreciate it. Because that actually does make things a lot easier, and I agree with you. I don't think it needs a tail at all. Okay, so we're going to do 6 single crochets into a magic loop for round 1 of our burb's head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull that tight. Round 2, we're just going to do an increase into each stitch around. I think we're going to need some white yarn here, by the way. So I'll grab some white yarn in a second. So increasing to each stitch will bring us up to 12 stitches for round 2. By the way, Coop, don't stress about this part of the pattern writing. By the way, I already have this part written down pretty well, so I can fill this part in to save you some effort. Thank you so much for the help, by the way. Okay, so we're increasing it up now to 12 stitches around. Nice. 1 and then 2 right there. All right, so round 3 is where we're going to start doing some changes here. We're going to do 3 single crochets and then an increase in our main color, this darker purple. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do an increase right here. Nice. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next, but we're going to change colors. So let's grab some of our... I think white yarn makes the most sense here. Does anybody have any big, strong feelings about this? I hope not. But before I do that, it would be really nice if I could find some white yarn. I don't think this is enough white yarn. 1 second. Yeah. One moment, I gotta go find white yarn. Okay, I found it. And then let's use yellow yarn for the beak, right? So white yarn for the mane, and then like barely any yellow yarn needed. And we'll use that for like the bird's beak. Okay, so we got one here. We had 3 single crochets, 1 increase in our main color, which is this darker purple. And then in the next stitch, we're gonna do a half color change so that the top is white, like this. And the bottom is like that, our main color of that purple. And we're just gonna do a single crochet into that next stitch. And then we're gonna change to all purple and do 1 single crochet and then an increase. I'm gonna leave this end right there. And then we'll do an increase right here. And then we're gonna do another single. Wait, hold on, sorry, I'm thinking. So we did, actually no, this is gonna be our half color change. So we did our increase here, and then we're changing to our half color change, like that. And then 1 in that half, and then we'll save the rest for later. So now we're gonna do 1, 2, and then we'll do an increase right here in our main color. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna cut the white and come back to it. All right, so that was round 3. Again, round 3 was purple, 3 single crochets, 1 increase, 1 single crochet, half color change for 1 single crochet, purple for 1 single crochet, 1 increase, half color change for 1 single crochet, and then purple for 2 single crochets, 1 increase. For people in the future that are trying to rework this pattern, that is how I did it. Round 4, we're gonna do 6 single crochets. We don't have to do any increases anymore, so we're gonna do 6 single crochets in our white, or I mean our purple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be here, and then we're gonna do 2 in white. Yeah, we'll do 2 of these stitches in white. This is all singles, by the way. 1, there's 2. We're gonna switch back over to purple, and we're gonna do 2 single crochets in our purple yarn after that. One, there's 2, and then we'll do 2 again. Yeah, we'll do another 2 in white. I think that makes most sense. And then we'll finish up with purple to the end of the round. 1, 2, change back over to that purple, and we'll do purple for the rest of that round. I think that'll look good because now you can see. So I'm doing the color changes in a way that makes like kind of like a rounded top there, which I think will look like the top of a penguin's head, you know, because I feel like they have like a rounded face color change thingamabob going on. So we'll do 3, yeah, we'll do 3 more single crochets in our purple here. Cut the white, come back to the white. I'm also gonna cut this, should I cut this top purple or put it, let's pull it out the top. Here, this is gonna be fun because this will give it kind of even more of like an alien-y look to it. We'll pull this purple from our original tail end right here, yarn over that, and we'll just pull that out the top like that. And then we'll create a knot on it, which will make this like weird little antenna-y looking thing to give it more of an alien look. And you know, I'm gonna double knot that like this so that the knot is even thicker. Okay, so now we have that double knotted there, and that'll look really fun at the top of the head. Because you'll be like, what is that? And then when you take the head off, you'll be like, oh, it's an alien. I see. Okay. Yoink. Joink. All right, next round. We're going to do, for this next round, we're going to do, let's do 6 in our purple. And then I think we only need like 3 in the white, and then we can do a beak. You know, we'll do a smaller beak too. So we're going to do 6 purple. We're going to pull this, change over to our white yarn now. And we're going to do 3 in our white yarn here. And then we're going to change to our yellow yarn just to do a beak. And for the beak, I think I'm just going to do a, like, kind of what the goblin's nose is. So instead of it doing like a really pronounced beak, I think we're going to kind of keep it a little more subtle, right? So we'll pull through with white, and then I'm going to change colors to this yellow for the beak here. And we're going to do, basically, like, we're going to do half of a double crochet there, and then I'm going to chain 2. 1, 2, and pull tight, and then do another double crochet stitch here in the same stitch. So it's kind of like a bobble stitch with 2 chains in between, kind of like that. And then we're going to change back over to white. I'll pull white tighter here. And yeah, we're going to change over to our white yarn now. Pull through, that tight, and then we'll just single crochet in the next stitch around the yellow. Yeah, that's nice, because then it makes a little beak, but it's not like too crazy. It's not like too, like, you know, sometimes I make the burbs and they have like really, really pronounced beaks, but this way it'll have a little more subtle, which I think will give it a little bit more of a, like a puffin vibe. Well, I guess puffins have a little bit bigger of noses. Whatever. We did what we did. I'm going to cut the purple too, because we're going to come back to that in a second. And I think we just need 3 single crochets in our white after the beak. So there's 1, 2, and we'll do 3 right here. Cool. And I know I'm not doing like a bird's eye this time. Sorry. Sometimes I do those big like bug eyes, but I don't think we need it for this character. I don't know, we'll see. Let's keep crocheting on. I believe we just want to do like 4 single crochets in our... actually, you know what? It might have just been 2. Yeah, 2 single crochets got us to the end of the round in that purple. But see how it's coming together? I like it. Pixie! It does kind of have a pixie vibe, huh? I like that beak, though. I think that's nice and subtle. Maybe I should have done orange for the beak, but the yellow is nice because it kind of like pops out with the purple, too. Which is kind of nice. Kiss McBufferson. All right, next part, we're going to do... I already did 2 in our purple, so we're going to do 6 total. So 2... Yeah, 6 in our purple, so this will be 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we'll do 8. Yeah, we'll do 8 white. We don't need our yellow yarn any longer. And here's our white yarn. Cool. Did I say 8? Yeah, 8 in our white yarn. Work around that purple for the first stitch and cut it. Going to be a bit of a mess inside of this bird's head, but whatever. 1. Hopefully it doesn't... the one thing I'm worried about is it snagging on the halo. But honestly, it'll probably be fine. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll go 8. And then we'll change back to our purple. Oh, which I dropped on the ground. Oh, our music ended too. Here, we'll add some... I'll throw in a new music thing. That's fun. Okay. I hope this really works out. For the end of this round, by the way, I think I just need 1 to finish the round in purple. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good, actually. And I'll tell you what, we're going to add... Well, we'll do one more round, and then we'll add our eyes. I think for this next round, I can do the exact same stitches. Right? So I think, like... Because it looks the... Yeah, so we have 15... yeah, we'll just do another round of these exact same things. So that's going to be 6 in our purple to get to the start of where these color changes happen. Boom. And then... How many did I say in white? 8? Yeah, 8 in white. Pull that purple aside. Let's see how this is looking. I'm kind of flying now, though. Now that I know this is the last part, I'm like all excited. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. And there's 8. Get our purple yarn back over here. There. Okay. Do one more single there. And that'll end that round with white. Let's see. I guess we can add our eyes now. And then we'll do, because we do need it to be taller so that it fits on the head right. So it definitely will need to be a little bit taller. Just a little bit though. But before that, let's add our Burb's eyes on. So the Burb's eyes, let's just do them dead eyes, just regular old eyes. Maybe, you know what, we can add cheeks here. Let's do that. So we were talking about adding cheeks before to our main character's body. But let's do cheeks here instead. So the eyes, I think the eyes I'm going to put into... I actually think they need to go in between the stitches. Yeah, in the center of the stitch. So where did I put my needle? There it is. So I'm going to go in the center of the stitch. So like, here, let me get a little better camera angle here. There we go. So if I go like in between the stitches here, I go one right over right there. I'll go like directly in the center of that stitch. I'll actually use the back of my needle. Like this. And then we'll have like a little bit of a gap there where I can snag a safety eye and just kind of like wiggle its way in there. What color should the cheeks be? Pink? Pink would be kind of nice. That lavender would be nice too. What do you think? Pink or lavender? Chat. First one to comment 3. First one to get 3 comments wins. Pink or lavender for cheeks. Second eye right here. Nice. And I was thinking of adding like a hat or something to this, but I honestly think we have so much going on. I don't think it needs any kind of like hats or glasses or stuff like that. Lavender, lavender. Lavender. All right, lavender it is. That's 3 lavenders. It is giving quail actually, huh? With the little antenna. I kind of like that. Oh, now we got pink, pink. Uh-oh. We have a battle. Oh, lavender for the win. There you go. There you go. Lavender it is. That's nice too because it'll like kind of like work with the rest of our pattern also. Okay, so lavender cheekies. We can definitely do that. Here, I'll just use the tail ends actually too so we don't even need to cut new yarn. It's kind of nice. And I think I'm just going to go up and over a stitch really easy like this. Right? Super easy cheeks. Should I double it? I don't think it even needs to be doubled, actually. I think that looks really good. It honestly kind of looks pink. And I could double it. Let's see what happens if I double it. This music is crazy. Alright, up. And over for a double. will look like this. Double's nice. I guess double's fine. We'll keep double. It's not bad. 1, 2. Alright, so there's our cheeks added in. I think that looks pretty good with the cheeks, actually. I like that we chose lavender. I think that'll add to the rest of our pattern a lot, too, which will be nice. And then, do I have any extra? Yes, I do. Sophia likes a double also. Good, I'm glad. That makes me happy. All right, let's do this one more time on the other side. We are so close to being done. How crazy is this? All right, so we're gonna go over to this stitch here, which will be nice because we'll cover up that little purple, that little yarn, the color change that I kind of either goofed or whatever. That, look at that, perfectly covered it up. And we'll do one more. Double it. So we match the other side. Boop. Nice, I like it. Okay. Double knotting. Guys, this face, this burb head is perfect for our character too. I don't know if I'm going to do the frill at the bottom of the burb head. I actually think we don't need the frill. But I don't know. I guess we'll see when we get to that round. We still have a few more rounds to go. All right, so there's the face added. We've got our cute little quail antenna there also. I totally should do a quail burb someday. Okay, next up. We are on to, I think round 8 of the burb's head. So we'll do, I want to do slightly less over here. I think we're going to do 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6, 7 single crochets in our main color so that it starts to overlap the other one, so it starts to like kind of round out the color change. 7 there, and then we'll change to white for like probably the same amount, not the same amount, but now 1 less, so probably like 7 white stitches, I would assume, because I think we did 8 last round. So change over to white. And I'm going to just leave that end there. And we'll go, because I think I did 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we're going to do 7 in our white yarn here, and then we'll change back to our purple. 1, 2, and then I think all we need is 1 more round after this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6. Here is 7. And then I'm going to cut the purple. Change back over that. And then we'll do a single around the white. And that'll be the end of the round with 1 purple. Right? 15 stitches still? Is this tall enough? Let's do 1 more. Yeah, we'll do 1 more round. 1 last round here. Last round, we're going to do probably 1 more purple than we did last round. So 8 in purple. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll do that. 8. And then change to our white. I think we'll do... Well, we'll naturally do 1 less white stitch. Do we want to do 2 less white stitches is the question. I don't think so, actually. So we're going to do 6, probably. Yeah, because I don't need it to round in too much. It's already kind of pulling in. You know, it's already kind of like angling down towards us anyhow. So I was thinking about making this purple, but I think that might make it a little messy. So we're just going to do 6. So 6 in our white yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. change back over to our main purple. Nice. I am going to work around this white for the stitch. That's our last single crochet in purple. You know what? I want the end to be kind of further away from this color change, so I'm going to do 2 more single crochets in purple just to get it further closer to the back of the head, and then we'll do a slip stitch to finish that head up. I don't want to do... I don't think it needs frill. And by frill, I mean like sometimes I do like this little frilly bottom like this. You know? Like that. But I think it kind of works with straight like that. Because the frill is going to mess up that sweet color change look. I don't know. What do you think? Should I add that frill? I could add a purple frill to the entire bottom. It'll make it look very clearly like it's something else. I don't know, chat. What do you think? This is our last customization that I need your guys' opinion on. Do we want to add frill to the bottom or not? Also, I need to do a name suggestion. So while you guys are telling me that, I'm going to choose my 4 favorite... you know what? Let's do it this way. I'm going to choose my 4 favorites... I kind of want to do the vote with the rest of, like, everybody. You know, not just the live stream chat. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to choose... I'm going to choose my 4 favorites after today's live stream, and we're going to put it as a poll. So if you're watching this afterwards and you have a strong suggestion or feeling about one of these, well, you have a chance to get your vote in as well. We're going to put this as a vote after the video goes live on our YouTube community channel. So look for the community channel there. No frill, says the chat. Love it. Cool. We're going to stick with no frill. Cut and pull closed. If you have any other name suggestions that you want me to try to add to this list, feel free to mention it in the chat, and then I will go ahead and choose my 4 favorites and get a picture and post up, hopefully by the end of the day. All right, so we're just going to hide these ends in and then place it on our burb's head and call it a day. I also want to kind of trim some of these tail ends a little bit so they don't get too snagged on the inside. All right, moment of truth, team. Moment of truth. Let's see our wonderful little alien created here. Oh my gosh, look at that head. That looks pretty great. And see how it like kind of angles in? That's kind of nice, right? All right. I'm going to stretch out the bottom of the head a little bit so it fits on the body a little bit better. And moment of truth. Here we go, little guy. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. Oh, Lord, help us all. Look at this little doofus. Oh my gosh, he's great. She's great. They're great. Wow. Look at those gangly legs. Giggly legs. And then, ready? Oh, the angelic, beautiful beast. Oh, let's fix that mouth, though. Kissy lips. All right. Okay, so again, here's what we rolled. And so we can look at what we made here, okay? We had chat suggestion for the arms, and y'all suggested and voted for fins. I think these count as fins. They look very finny to me. I like it. Okay, so there's our fins. Second thing was the feet. We re-rolled our feet, and we got gangly feet. I would say these count as gangly feet. Those are pretty gangly. Crazy. Next one is head, and we chose a burb's head, which is this removable head that we add on top. And now look at that. They have our burb's head, and it fits so perfectly. Wow, great. Next one. Now, because it was a burb head, it means that it needs to be removable. So we remove it. Keep our halo there. Because next one is body. For body, we rolled buff. That's a buff bod. That's a strong buff bod. Look at this strong boy. You're so strong, and I appreciate that for you. Next thing, we voted, we rolled for face. We rolled an 8 on face, which gave us our little kissy mouth. He's kissy. Mwah. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then the last thing we rolled for was our wild magic roll. And our wild magic roll gave us angelic, which just meant that we have a nice sweetie patootie. So we added a little halo to their head and added some little eyelashes, which gave them a little bit of a sweet look too. And that is our angelic little angel, which we will be naming shortly. So if you have a name suggestion, let us know in the comments down below. And if you want to know what we finally named this fella, then you should just look at the title of whatever this video is, because I'm going to change the title to whatever the name of this creature is. Here's the name suggestions that we got during the live stream, by the way. So we're probably going to be voting on one of these names. We have 2 name suggestions to vote for. The first one is going to be their first name, and the second is going to be their type of character. For their first name, we have Darby, Sheldon, St. Buffin, Nugget, Miss Finch, Martin, Trizapora, Everett, and Bubba. And for their species type, we have Aurelician, which I actually really like Aurelician. It's hard to say, but it's cool. We have Halofin. They are, could they be a Buffgwin? Maybe. A Kisquatch. Flockzilla. A Toppling. I really like Toppling. A Goob. Or a Flocy. So name, people in the chat, feel free to give other suggestions if you'd like to. We're going to vote for this later today. If you want to get your vote in, hold on, we'll add Cosmo there to the name suggestion because someone just commented Cosmo. If you want to get your vote in for the name, check out the community tab on our YouTube channel. So go to clubcrochet.com's YouTube channel, youtube.com/clubcrochet, and there'll be a little community tab. Click that tab, and that's where I'll put the vote for our name suggestions, which I will be putting up probably tomorrow morning. So look for it around the morning time. I'll probably post it like 5 a.m. my time, so that's going to be Pacific Standard. Okay, so there's all the things. How great. I love them. I love them. I love you. You're so cute and weird. I really like the burb head. I think that's a fun addition, but I really like them without the burb head. I think without the burb head, they look so, like, goobly and weird, and I just love them. I think they're so weird and cool. What do you think? Hope you like it. Next time we do this roll for crochet, by the way, we are going to be removing the options that we've voted for this live stream so that we don't have those, and we're going to replace them with new options. If you like this roll for crochet idea, please let me know in the comments. It would mean a lot to me, especially after this video is fully posted. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do another one as soon as I can, especially if this gets a lot of attention and people really like it. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I'll see you next Friday. Next Friday, what are we making next Friday? That's a good question. I don't know is the answer to the question on everyone's minds. Next week, it's not a Gumi week, is it? Oh, actually, we might have a crochet along for Gumis. We actually might have a battle Gumi crochet along. So I might be doing a live stream talking about my new game next week. So I'll let you know. Anyhow, thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Shout out to our moderators, Zoe and Cooper. Thank you so much for helping out and keeping our stream nice and healthy and safe. I will see you guys next week. Pasta la pizza. And... oh my god, stop. You hang up first. Oh my gosh, stop. You're making me blush. No, Tina, you hang up first. Oh my gosh, stop. Oh my gosh. Thanks for watching, everybody. Pasta la pizza. Happy hooking. I'll see you later. Bye!